around this rough and tumble frontier land.
Got it.
But he disappeared for some reason, and it's been like 2 months since this last contact, and Cornelius is getting worried that one of his colleagues just disappeared.
So he failed!
One could say so, yes. Isaac's mug. Failure is always an option.
Wonderful.
But a bad outfit isn't.
That hair flick.
God, I wish my hair was longer just for that. Oh god, I should get a wig.
just
Just
like
put
that,
it on.
like that,
just
like that.
So you can whip your hair back and forth.
all the time. I mean, we joke about that song, but Willow's new album is actually fantastic.
Good for you.
Good for the world. It was a gift.
Alright, we should be good again.
Okay.
Yes, there we go. Now it says excellent. So we're not dropping frames anymore.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
So everything's good.
Yep, yep, should be good.
Okay. So Cornelius hands you guys this map of Phandelver, and it has all sorts of locations marked out that he was intending to investigate or go around, seeing if he could locate any clues about Yarno's whereabouts. He explains to you guys that he wants to do this, but he asks you the favor of, will you do this for him? Because he's an old man and he sustained injuries from the goblins from the previous night. And he does not feel up to par on just moving about completely just yet.
Oh, well, I was considering just ignoring the cries of help of an old man tonight. Of course we'll help. Oh.
Yeah.
You've always been a funny one there, Kieran.
And just his entire face turns like tomato red. Which, given the size of it, could probably be an actual tomato.
No doubt we can go ahead and investigate this in town. If my suspicions are correct, we will probably encounter things that are related to Yarna's disappearance.
Do you really think everything's connected here?
Sometimes what looks like a disjointed mess is actually a very well operated scheme.
Kind of like my schooling days.
I don't know if everything is actually connected, but I still have to at least look into it.
Cornelius says, I intend to spend my days at the townmaster's hall. I wish to inquire about the order established here.
I believe you will find that there isn't much if the running arounds of the red card are to be believed.
Which is what concerns me. But he, from his robe, his belt, he takes out a small piece of paper. It looks like a scroll, and he hands it to you, Bolg. And he says to you, in case anything happens. And if you were to unfurl the scroll and just glance over it, it is a scroll of magic missile. Cast at first level.
That will be very useful, thank you. Thank you, Professor. He keeps the scroll in his satchel for easy access.
So, essentially, you guys right now would be in the common room, and you have this map in front of you. Cornelius has just taken a step away from you guys to get some breakfast, some coffee from the innkeeper. What would you guys like to do?
Let's see here.
Okay, so it's... Sorry, we were dropping frames again. I was fixing it. So it's morning now, breakfast.
Yes.
Okay, so...
I would say we go pay a visit to the Lion Shield Custer. You can go ahead and tell them about their equipment that they can finally go pick up.
Yes, assuming they have people to pick it up.
Yes, that's true.
Well, we have to visit them and...
The town master.
Yes.
And we can pass by the Shrine of Luck is actually the first thing on our way, so we can probably go there first.
Kieran points down and says, "The Shrine of Luck. That would be about here, wouldn't it?" You would also notice that he's not actually pointing at the map, he's pointing at an oily napkin.
I don't get it.
Kieran looks down and says, "That's where it would be on the map, right?" "I'm pointing at the map, aren't I?" "It's not a map, is it?"
No, that's a napkin, Kieran.
Oh, I was never very good at reading maps or figuring out where to go. I thought it was just a halfling-sized map. Or as I like to call it, a normal-sized map.
Do you need your eyes checked, Kieran?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Surely there's no doctor devoted to eyes in this fantasy setting.
Goodbye, fourth wall.
You're acting about as blind as a bat.
Bats are blind? What?
So let's not dally around. We have plenty of tasks ahead of us.
Alright. So the Shrine of Luck then, Alex?
Yes. Remind me again what we were like. Wait, the priestess came back like injured or something?
Yeah. Yes, the priestess of Sister Galel, I believe her name is. She was rather exhausted after returning from the north.
Mm.
That's correct.
I'm not sure what they expect us to do, but we can have a look.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys grab your possessions, tuck away the scroll which Cornelius had bestowed upon you, Bolg, and not pick up the oily napkin which was thought of as a map, because it's certainly not. Although
Kieran tries to pick it up and Alex slaps it out of his hand.
As you as you guys leave today, you come upon a Phandelver that is of a different air. You see that an autumn rain has come and swept through over the night, so the road, which is not actually a road but just dirt trails, have become quite muddy and soggy, and the mud just kind of sticks to your boots when you step out from the warm inn out to this moist and damp road. And in front of you, you would see just this stone-based shrine. It's just stones and pebbles stacked upon each other to make sort of an obelisk of sorts. And you see that there is a woman clad in sort of this whitish robe, and the bottom of her robes is kind of, the vestments are kind of just stained by the mud that sticks to her shoes. And she has sort of incense in her hands, and she's just kind of just spreading them about the shrine, and looks like it's a morning ritual that she's performing.
Mm.
She has her hood up at this moment, but you can definitely tell it is a female.
Gal approaches. Is there a not a penance box, a alms box nearby around her?
Not particular. No, it's just a shrine, and it looks like there is a small basin that would be for donations, and there's a bit of water, like it's like a small fountain-like thing. But there does not seem to. Well, would you want to approach?
Yeah, I would approach, and if there's an offertory like box or anything, I would toss in a silver piece.
You imagine that this fountain
God
is.
bless
you.
Bless you. Timora bless you, actually.
Thank you.
With this, the shrine to Timora would seem to be, the fountain would be used to throw like maybe a copper piece in there to make a wish and such, but it's completely empty, and it's no surprise to you that it probably would be empty. This is a rough town. People don't have that much coin, and if there were to be coin, probably the Red Brand have stolen it and whatnot.
Mhm.
And honest, make a perception check. You just pass by, come up to this woman.
Wow, that's a wonderful way to start off the night.
Uh-huh.
Nat 1.
All right, you see nothing.
Okay.
You see mud.
Actually, it's what you were looking at. You were fixated upon was that on one of the side of the shrine, like on one of the larger stones at the base of the shrine, you notice that there is a small red symbol that looks like an R that's backwards. This kind of gives you the inkling that this is probably of the Red Brand who graffitied it here and vandalized this shrine, claiming it to be theirs and whatnot. But you were so fixated on this, you actually slip on a bit of mud and you come tumbling towards her, and you actually, with your mask, your half-orcish mask, bump into her, and her hood gets knocked off, and at that moment, you realize that she's elvish.
Oh,
What
shit.
kind of elf?
You're not sure just yet.
Alright, let's play this out carefully then.
From in the background, after her hood gets knocked off, Kieran lets out a small gasp and then opens his bag and starts eating some popcorn that he had stored in there.
Alex is gonna go try to contain this potential debacle. You should really watch your step, Bolg. That was dangerous.
Ugh.
She
My-
even apologizes to you, Bog, and she says, "Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that."
She's
No.
Canadian.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Now who's breaking the fourth wall here?
And
Alright,
she actually apologizes to you, and she drops her incense in that moment, but she leans down to pick it up.
Bulk helps her pick up the incense and apologizes back. I'm terribly sorry. It's just one of the rocks here. It seems like it was graffitied.
Oh, yes, I've been meaning to get to that. I've been out of town for a few days, you see.
So we've been told.
Kieran will look.
The town seemed worried about you.
She says, looking down at her hand, her right hand, which you help her pick it up and give her incense to, 'cause she kind of reveals it under her sleeve, that it's kind of bandaged. She has like sort of this dark cloth gauze bandage kind of just wrapped around her right hand. And she looks at it, kind of just brushing it as she's picking up the incense that you hand to her.
Trouble on the trip back? He asks.
She says, I wouldn't call it trouble per se, but to some. Are you religious?
Somewhat. I often favor Mistra and Hela Bright Hacks in times of battle.
And she asks you, do you have any feelings towards the afterlife?
Bulk thinks for it on the moment, just like not really contemplating it before. Well, I try not to think about that. It would get in the way of me doing my job if I did.
Well, how about banshees? Do you believe in those?
Banshees? You mean the things that at night people say scares little children?
Exactly. You probably wouldn't believe me if I told you so, but I believe it was a banshee that came after me when I was on my visit.
How did you
That's a-
escape? Sorry.
With Timora's luck, of course.
Oh.
She smiles and nods at you.
Kieran will look down and hold up some popcorn for her.
Really, Karen. Karen, I don't think that's very appropriate.
She looks hungry.
Not appropriate.
She'll kindly pass with like just a simple gesture, just waving her hand.
You wouldn't happen to have, well, better a banshee, I suppose, than something corporeal like bugbears or hobgoblins.
Yes, I suppose. I don't completely feel that she intended to harm me, just came to be by an accident. You see, there's a rumor, and there's a place not too far from here, coined Agatha's Lair. A maiden who has passed long ago, and, well, unfortunately, her soul still remains, and I wanted to see if the rumors were true, and luckily, perhaps they are true, but I don't think she intended to really hurt anyone either.
You think she's misunderstood?
Precisely.
And were you gonna help her
Uh-oh, where Isaac's lagging.
move?
You're good now.
Okay. Kieran says, and so you were trying to help her move on?
Yes, I wanted to see if the rumors were true, and I think I could get through to her if I gave it another chance. However, as with dealing with undead, it is very difficult. It takes a toll on one's strength to do so, and fortunately, I fear I won't be able to return anytime soon.
That is a shame. Now, if you do ever feel like you get the strength, we could get you. We can make the way easier and at least escort you up there.
You would do that for me?
Sure. You don't seem like you're out to harm anyone, and doing the world some good would make it easier on everyone.
This is certainly a different outlook, considering the red brand.
Yes, we've ran into them already, and we've made it quite clear that we won't tolerate their exuberances.
Then Timora truly shine upon you for delivering you to us in a moment of need.
I suppose so. We will be around for a couple of days while we have our own business to sort to. If we have the time or if you have the strength, do let us know.
Absolutely. At the very least, allow me to bless you. All of you, if you are willing, of course.
Bolg is fine with it.
Yeah, Alex is fine with it, and her holy symbol is out in the open, so it's not in any way unclear her affiliations.
Okay, I did not realize that.
Oh. Kieran will put away his popcorn and wipe the crumbs from his face as he steps forward.
Greasy hand touches her hand.
She's got all the butter on it.
She looks down. She's just like, is that blood? She's just like, no, it's ketchup powder.
His hands feel like he's been churning the butter way too much.
I just imagine at some point I'm just gonna be like, Kieran, would you stop eating?
Kieran, quit churning your butter, damn it.
Maybe you should start toothpick.
That's bait, is what that is.
That's bait.
That's bait.
She quickly says, thank you, Timora, for bringing these to our aid. May you watch over them and give them luck. And essentially, you guys will be blessed, and you receive a boon from Timora. Essentially, this will be a full point of inspiration, but only until you take the long rest.
No, so okay. You get just regular old.
So you get to re-roll a die of your choice, any die attack, or you can even put disadvantage against an opponent, but it is expired after a long rest.
Gotcha.
Got it.
All right then.
So essentially, this is more like a luck point.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which, given who we're getting it from.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
By this point, Bulk, you would have realized from her accent and such that she is actually a high elf, not a wood elf.
Okay.
Oh, good. So we're not going to have any race crimes today.
keep the fantasy hate crimes to a minimum. As they're leaving, Kieran will stop, look back, and run back towards her and say, excuse me, miss. Do you need donations or anything like that?
She looks down towards you. I'm afraid I won't be able to keep donations until the red brand are dealt with. Any donation I receive, they just take.
Kieran nods and says, okay, well, we'll take care of the red brands too, so you won't have to worry about that anyways in a little bit. Besides, how tough could they be? Look, he looks down at the R. They can't even write an R properly.
Somewhere out there, a vicious mockery is just like sent.
The leader in the castle just like sitting there. Oh! And with that, Kieran runs back to the party and he waves goodbye to her.
She'll wave somberly with the pain in her wrist, but she does so. And okay, that's amazing.
Wonderful.
This is why you need the Spoony Bard in the party.
Yes.
Okay. At this point, where do you guys proceed on to? You guys feel like a little bit of invigoration and this little bit of blessing to yourselves.
To the Lion Shield Coster with the box of goodies that Bolg has with him as well.
Okay. When you come to the Lion Shield Coster, which is just across the Shrine of Luck itself, you notice that the Lion Shield Coster is very run down. Like shingles are falling off of this building, and there are loads of boxes stacked outside, all of which are empty. But there's a lot of mildew on the wood and the crates and stuff. So it seems like it has not been moved in a while. And you can see that for the most part, a lot of the windows are boarded up.
This place is in real bad shape.
I wonder what happened.
I suspect we know who to blame.
Didn't the innkeeper say something about the owner's house being somewhere nearby?
I don't remember.
I think so. I'm just asking for more like in narrative sort of comparison.
Yeah, you probably would remember that the owner, which was a Lenine Greywood, lives close to the trading post as well. So if you don't see anyone here, you definitely could look around for her house. But you see that her house, it would be marked on the map that you are holding too.
Right.
So it doesn't seem like anyone is here, yes.
If you want to approach it more closely, you can. But the windows are boarded up at the moment. There could be someone lingering within.
Well, we might as well have a look.
Okay. Bo goes ahead and lifts the box up with him as he steps on the mildew rotted wood and sort of just like carefully knocks on the door.
Okay. When you knock on the door gives a hollow thumping sound. The door seems to be like it looks like it's used. It's used fairly often. There's no sort of like overgrown grass or sort of cobwebs sticking to the sides of it. When you knock on the door, you hear. Make a perception check.
Okay, 1 sec.
Whoever's close to the door.
That would be me since I'm knocking.
If you think you're close to the door, you can.
I am also close. Oh shit, that's a good way to start the day.
Did you get a natural 20?
I did get a natural 20.
Dang, okay.
That makes that a 25.
You're perceptive as hell today, Matt. I got a 16.
16, okay. 20 what? For Alex? 20 what?
It would be a 25.
25, okay. And Kieran, are you rolling?
Yeah, I rolled a 12.
12? Okay. So yeah, Bolg and Alex were definitely here after the knocking. You knock 3 times and then you wait. There's silence. but then you hear something shuffling and something moving beyond the door. It sounds like something heavy gets shifted and dragged, and then you hear silence and a voice pipes up from inside and says, and she, definitely a woman, cries out, "Who's out there? Is it you, Red Brand, again? Come back for more loot, huh?"
Supply delivery, ma'am.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you said last time. and right after that, she cries out, "If you come knocking again, you're going to find yourself with a crossbow bolt to the face."
Kieran steps forward a little bit because I'm assuming he hears all the shouting.
Absolutely.
And he just says, "Excuse me, miss. Excuse me. We're not actually the Red Brand. I think we actually took care of a few of them when we came into here. But trust us, we wouldn't be the kind of people that would wear such gaudy colors. Or to misspell our R's."
Make a persuasion check.
Here we go.
24.
24.
Yes!
You can hear confusion in her voice as she says this. Like, she's thinking this to herself, but it's loud enough that you can hear it through the boarded windows. And she says, "When did the Red Brand start hiring children?"
We came across a box that seems to have your company's symbol upon it. We figured you might want to know where the rest of seemingly your supplies have wandered off to.
At that moment, the door opens slightly, but only a small bit, as just a crack so that she can see who it is she's dealing with. And the first thing you would see is that there is the mouth of a crossbow being pointed through the slit at whoever's closest. I think, Bull, you're the closest. Exactly.
Yes.
Kieran looks up. "What's happening? I can't see from down here."
He called you a child.
Oh, I heard that part, but
Just more pointy projectiles. I suggest you stay clear of them.
She looks at you. You can see like an eye, and like through the slit of the door, her face, which she looks to be probably like a middle-aged woman, and she's got that blonde hair that's kind of going white, and she looks like she's a little bit weathered from all the things that has been transpiring in Phandelver. And she then opens the door a little bit wider to reveal her entire face, and she says, "You guys don't have red cloaks."
No, we do not.
Kieran
We simply
shrugs. There you go.
We simply have this box, and he shows her the box with the lion crest on it.
Kieran shrugs and looks down and says, "I think blue's more of my color anyways. Matches my eyes."
At that moment, she closes the door on you, Kieran. And you can hear all the chains and hooks and stuff and the locks being unhooked. And she opens the door, and you can see that this is a short woman. And she looks like she's been through hell and back. Her robes, her clothes were once you could see definitely like a bright royal blue, but has been stained and tarnished from soot, oil, dirt, and stuff. And she does not look like she's been doing very well at all.
How tall is she?
She's probably just over 5 feet.
Still a giant to Kieran.
Ever so slightly shorter than Alex,
And
but not by much.
She says to you guys, as she lowers her crossbow, "Please forgive me. It's been difficult. And
Sorry.
I thought you were the Red Brand, and I could not take any more chances."
That's alright. That's been happening quite often.
Yes, it seems like everywhere we go, we get questioned. It seems the Red Brand do as they please.
She says to you, "You're new in town. Is that right?"
Yep.
Yes,
And
just
she'll lean her crossbow against the arch of the door on the side.
yes, just passing through for business, but it's hard to conduct business around here with how troubled everything is.
She says, "If it's business that you want to conduct, this is no town to do it in. You should not be here. You should get out while you still can. If you still have your golden tack, get out now."
I mean, the location wasn't really our choice.
Yes, and leaving isn't really an option, so we'll have to break the Red Brand down eventually. They
And
attempted to rob us earlier, but I think you'll find them a few men short now.
she says, "Oh, where are my manners? Please come on in." And she gestures to you, Bulk. That's mine.
Yes, we were returning it to you.
And she looks like she's completely out of it. And she says, "I'm so sorry. I've not had a good night's sleep in a very long time." And you can see that she has humongous bags under her eyes, like she's tired, sleep deprived, and super stressed out.
Yes, and unfortunately we couldn't carry back all of the things that are presumably yours, but we at least brought one back to show that we found a great number of stolen supplies.
Not by the
This-
Red Guard, though.
Red Brand.
Red Brand,
Elbow, Red Brand.
sorry. Not by the Red Brand, though.
She says, "This is the first nice thing anyone's done for me in this town. Anyone that can, at least, anyway. Can I get you anything? Maybe some tea?"
Tea would be lovely, thank you.
Kieran kind of perks up at this and says, "Ooh, you wouldn't happen to have any Earl Grey, would you?"
She looks at, like, when you guys look at the trading post itself, it is not looking good. And you can see that there are many crates and boxes that are completely just empty or rotted items, like food and provisions that probably are no longer good. And a lot of the boxes and crates are filled with spider webs and stuff. There doesn't seem to be any actual business that she does, or anything new that's come into the town, probably just taken by the Red Brand before it even makes it here. But she says to you, Kieran, I'll see what I can find."
I mean, it's whatever you have. I don't mean to be picky.
Look, just Alex is kind of looking around. How long has this been going on? Is there just no law and order this far out?
Phandalin is a new town. It used to be a ruin, but a few people from Neverwinter and Waterdeep, they came here to try to shape it up, hopefully make some business. But when the Red Brand got wind of it, they came here, muscled their way in, and we couldn't do anything about it. No one from Waterdeep or Neverwinter, none of the nobles want to support us. It's a ruin. They see no business, no profit in it. But I hear this Gundren fellow. I hear he's coming to town soon, and he's going to make things all better.
Yes, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he's currently missing.
At this point, she has a few mugs, and she hands you each of the mugs. And all you can see, really, is just like hot water with a few berry leaves. And maybe a berry or two.
Yes, he's unfortunately gone missing. He's actually why we're here. We're trying to find him, but...
Does she have a mug of tea? Sorry, no, you go.
No, it's fine.
Kieran looks at her and says, sorry, does she have a mug of tea of her own?
She does not. She's offering... It seems like she's offering what little she has to you guys. Because
Kieran,
you guys... You know.
Yeah. Kieran notices she doesn't have anything, and instead of commenting on it, he pulls out a small bag of biscotti and offers some to her.
She'll take it, and she'll nibble on it slowly, as this is probably one of the few delicious things she's had in a very long time. And you can tell that she's trying to savor it and really enjoy it, but she's not letting herself show that she needs it.
Kieran will also kind of sidle up a little closer and hold up his mug of tea. Would you like to share? It's a lot better when you dip it into tea.
Actually, Kieran, I think, given her state of affairs, I think this is more appropriate. I'm gonna look around for an empty cup. I need an empty cup.
You go around searching the rooms, unmasking cobwebs into essentially making a cotton candy handful of webs, until you find a few tin tankards.
That'll
Not
work.
exactly a cup, but definitely a container suitable.
It'll work. I'm just gonna make sure that's, reasonably clean, and I'll pour her a cup from my awesome little jug that I've been sort of carrying around on my pack this whole time.
You make sure you swirl around to get all the stuff mixed together, and so it's not just sitting at the bottom. And you pour. How much do you pour? Like a full tankard? A pint?
Yeah, probably, because she probably needs it at this point. How much does this jug hold, anyways? I need to write
gallon.
that down. 1 gallon. Okay, let me write that
Yep.
down.
What you got there, Alex? Mead?
No, not mead. It's something you're not going to find this far to the south.
She takes the tankard and she smells it, swishes it around, and then she drinks it. And you see a look of relief on her face. And she exhales. I really needed that.
Yes, just be careful. It's quite strong.
I can feel it already. And everything feels like it's so much better.
Drugs.
No, that's Mirabel's job. She's not here. So let's see what we're.
She's just like wandering, looking around the crates, collecting spiders right now.
That doesn't surprise me.
Right.
Well, anyways, we found there was much more that we couldn't carry back with that crate. It wasn't in possession of the Red Brand, though. It was in possession of a troop of goblins.
Goblins?
Yes. It seems like they had been, if I had to take a guess, ambushing your suppliers before they managed to bring them to you.
Yes, but we don't know what they were intending to do with it all. It's all currently piled in a cave outside of town.
She quickly gets up, pulls her dress with her, and she takes from behind the counter a map, and she puts the map down, and she asks you to point out where the location of it is.
And I will do so, cross-referencing with our map to make sure I give her the right location.
When you do so, she says, "This is great news. I'm expecting a shipment in the next week, and I can get the boys to get those as well. You've done me such a great favor. As if there's not with the Red Brand, I have a chance."
Yes. We will try and make sure to take care of the Red Brand as well. It seems like they caused nothing but trouble.
Yes, it seems like every problem we encounter in this town is in some way rooted to them.
She turns around for a moment and she kind of just pulls up her dress. Essentially, you think that she's taking something from a hiding spot, essentially, and she throws a pouch of gold pieces onto the table, and she says, "This is yours."
Bolt turns to Alex and says, "You're thinking what I'm thinking, right?"
I'm not sure. What are you thinking, Bold?
That
She
we
says,
don't take it.
"Take it."
No! Bolg looks at both of you. No! She needs it more than we do.
No,
That's what I
that's
just
why I'm
said.
asking Bolg. What are you thinking, Bolg?
Yes, I'm thinking we push. He pushes the gold back to her. It's like saying, "You need it more than we do right now."
She says, "That may be true, but I can bounce back. This is the least I can do for you guys."
Kieran kind of shrugs and says, "Well, we're pretty good at bouncing back too. I mean, just a day ago, I had an arrow in my foot. Could you believe that?
You've had an arrow in your everything at this point.
I I'm just very squishy, okay?
No, really, we are well funded at this point, and clearly you need such more than we do. We're simply here to alleviate suffering.
I don't know what to say.
Kieran will rifle around in his bag, and in addition to the biscotti, he's going to pull out a few other things, some dried fruits and nuts, and some sausage, and some sausage links, and honeyed bread. And he'll say, I made the sausages myself, if you like. It won't last you for too long, but it's what I have. How about next time I come around, you let me know what you think.
She takes a knee and she kind of just kneels beside you, Kieran, and you can see that there's a tear building up in her eye, and she's just so happy that you guys are here.
Yes, well, what you could help us with is, what do you know about the Red Brand? We've been in town for a couple of days now, and outside of the initial contact we had with them, with their highwaymen on the road, we haven't seen a peep of them.
She says to you, whatever you need on the Red Brand, I will try to give you. Just ask and I'll tell you.
Well, we've heard rumors that they hole up in that abandoned, ruined mansion in the distance, but something tells me that that may not be exactly true, because that seems entirely too obvious.
You see, they operate, from my understanding, they operate at night. They're most active at night. And if you were to infiltrate, daytime is the best. They're asleep during the day and they party at night, or whatever it is they do. And if you're interested, they collect taxes on Fridays.
Taxes, yeah.
That's what they call them, at least.
Extortionists. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for them, but catching them off guard during the daytime does sound like a better solution than marching into them full of wares.
A schedule will do us a world of good, especially planning around to attack so many of them. And Kieran will look at her and say, thank you. With this information, hopefully we'll be able to get the Red Brand out of here for good.
There's one more thing. They didn't always used to be this organized. It's only recently someone came in and just took the reins or something and pulled them to shape. They used to be a partying bunch, but now they're actually doing proper extortion, just holding up the roads, taking down any underwear trader.
Kieran frowns at this, and aside to Mirabelle, or not aside to Alex, he says, "That's not the first band of misfits we've heard of that have become unusually organized."
Yes, this and the goblins suddenly becoming organized enough to take out caravans. Maybe Bolg is right. Maybe there's a puppet master behind the curtain.
Told you.
Kieran kind of smirks and just elbows Bolg, which probably just like smacks his kneecap or something, and he says, "See that, big guy? You were right."
Don't declare him right just yet. We still have to prove it. And
We can go ahead and investigate them soon. They're still. What day is this in time, Jamie?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, you started on a Monday.
We have at least another day to go ahead and plan before we need to attack them.
yes, well, What else is on our agenda today? Then we were going to speak with.
We were going to go down to the town master, because he was the one who was going to give Abercrombie the information about his missing colleague.
Yes. Well, we'll see how useful he is. I guess. See how useful they are, given the sorry state of things.
Right.
Yes, well, thank you. This information will be most helpful, but we must be off. We have many tasks to undertake.
She says, before you go, I'm expecting a shipment of weapons and arms and armor within a few days. And then she gestures you over towards the counter. And if you guys were to follow, she ducks down behind the counter and she unlocks a safe. And essentially, when she opens the safe, a spider comes out. And if you guys look at the safe, it's completely empty. There's nothing in it besides a few cobwebs. But she pries down a false wall, and she takes out a few vials of this thick orange reagent. And she puts 2 on the counter, and then 2 vials of this green, dark blackish green liquid. She says, I've been saving this for just when I just can't deal with them anymore. But I think you'll make better use of them. And she says, alchemist fire and poisons.
Alchemist fire, I can definitely handle that. Bulk says, smirking.
I don't know if we particularly care to deal in poison. There.
Pretty sure Mirabelle would probably say something about that instead.
Potentially. I don't know if Mirabelle's into that kind of thing.
Lenine says, I know poisons are legal in all the major cities, but there's no laws here.
It's not about laws, it's about the suffering it causes. If we must slay them, it will be quick, clean, and without suffering.
And maybe with some light music to relax to.
I'm sorry, but I cannot agree with them. If you can make them suffer, let them suffer.
We will take care of them regardless.
Alex is like a holy symbol, like jangling around. I can't exactly agree to that, but
It's like, does this mean nothing to you?
it's like, this is literally the one tenet of my religion. I can't make people suffer.
Yeah.
Do it.
I feel like that's like kind of like hilariously like almost like Batman's I don't kill smashes man's skull against concrete.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly right.
And I mean, you're probably right, but
I mean, why do you think Alex let me just smash 3 helpless goblins wandering into their doom?
I mean, like no judgment or like no
I
meta
couldn't
knowledge,
see
but like
them. I couldn't stop you. I didn't know it was happening. I couldn't
Alright.
see them. All right, and
So
you got to interpret it kind of loose, okay? Otherwise, I'm literally going to be like a pacifist for the entire game. Come on.
Bulg graciously takes the alchemist fire.
okay. So do you guys want to take the poisons as well, or just leave them?
Kieran will take the poison just because he's kind of afraid that because what she said of like, oh, if it becomes too much, so he's just going to take the poison, so she just doesn't have it.
Make an insight check.
That's dark.
That is pretty dark.
Did nobody else think that?
I mean, I kind of did, but I didn't want to.
I'm probably going to see nothing. I only rolled a 7, so that's an 8.
Yeah, you probably don't you're not really too sure, but you definitely like the wording was off. You know? Yeah, so you definitely know that something might have been off, and this is probably just take it away just in case.
Yeah, I mean, like, if nothing else, I think we could find another application for poison, and better to have it and not need it than to need not have it anyways. I'm just
Absolutely.
gonna take the poison.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's fair enough.
I mean,
Bulg would like to go ahead and attempt to commit a sleight of hand action.
oh geez,
From
what are you doing?
okay, yeah. Who are you doing, and who are you doing to?
I'm trying to go ahead and sneakily put 3 silver pieces into my cup after it is finished with tea.
Absolutely. Make a sleight of hand check. Do you want to leave? Oh, you know what? Are you gonna? Your tea's not very good. Do you want to drink all of it, or do you want to leave some of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna drink it.
I was gonna say, if you're not gonna drink it, Kieran will drink it.
Down the fucking hatch.
All right. It's really just water.
Yeah. As for that sleight of hand check, 17.
Okay, you successfully, like, there's like leaves and berries at the bottom, so it doesn't even make a noise as the silver pieces just clatter into the thing, and the coin pouch is still on the table. No one's taken it at this moment, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
As they leave, though, Kieran will, and as he's like pocketing the poison, which I will get the deets from you after, he kind of walks up to her and says, "We'll be back eventually, and you'll have to tell me what you think of those sausages. I'll try to bring something new next time."
She smiles at you, and still with like tears in her eyes. If you come back when I have some supplies, I will be sure to give you all discounts, especially you. And she, like, she just pats you on the head.
Kieran turns tomato red again and says, "Oh, this is because I'm so cute, right?"
Okay. How do you guys wish to proceed? You have acquired Alchemist Fire and two vials of Alchemist Fire and 2 vials of poison.
Yes, well,
I think we'll just proceed over to the Town Master's Hall.
yeah, and as we proceed, I'm just going to tell Bulg, yes, well, perhaps we'll give out more to get her back up and running once we are clear of the red brand. I'd hate to be indirectly putting money in their pockets.
Well, we are going to go ahead and take care of them anyway. Anything they pilfer will just be given back at this point. So he basically just shrugs and goes ahead and goes over to the Town Master's house and knocks on it hard.
At which point, Cornelius just steps out of the inn, and he starts walking over through the mud, and his long blue robes just dragging and trailing in the mud, his staff helping him through this rough terrain. When you knock heavily on the door, you gain no response after the first 3.
I go ahead and knock again, this time using the flat side of my fist, so it makes a much more loud hammer sound.
Make a strength check.
Door falls
Punch the
down.
door. Nat 20 that shit.
Close enough. 22.
22. Okay, so it wasn't a natural 20, right?
No, it wasn't. It was a 19.
19. Okay, with a 19, the door, like, just you can see the door shake, and a voice cries out from beyond, and he says, "What? Who's out there?"
Concerned. Oh, sorry, I was gonna say concerned citizens, in kind of an annoyed tone.
That's much better than Red Brand Extermination Society.
Do we get matching outfits?
Only if you're paying for them.
Oh, well, yeah, you know the answer to that. The price of coordination.
Are you going to make it there, Cornelius? The mud's a bit deep.
He says to you, "I may be old, but I'm not useless." And he then proceeds to slip a little bit and catches himself on the staff.
So, Kieran is gonna walk over and, try to help the old man walk over, but, like, while a normal person would, try to link arms, he kind of just holds his hand.
He's like a little Boy Scout.
Who's helping who here? The mud might be as high as you, Kieran, at points.
Kieran's like drowning.
But he'll appreciate the help, and you'll walk him over, or he'll walk you over, and by the time he gets over to you guys, he says, "I will leave the talking to you. This may get a bit interesting. And at that moment, the door opens. Before that, let me just describe to you what this town hall looks like. And essentially, it's a town hall made of sturdy stone, and it's got a pitch wooden roof and a bell in the back of it. And on the right side, where you're standing, Bulk, from the door, there is what looks like a bounty board, and there is a piece of paper. And when you glance over it, it has that bounty about the orcs, which was described to you by one of the denizens that was at the inn the other night. Mm-hmm. Coming out of the door, you see this short man. He's fairly old. He's got like, he's balding on top, and he's got like thick hair coming out of his ears, and he seems to have a nightgown on with a nightcap still attached to his head, and he seems like he was sleeping when you woke him up.
Oh, the governance hard at work, I see.
And this
What?
This is the state of Phandelver. We're gonna have to make it great again.
He says, he looks to you. What's that supposed to mean?
No hats.
It means you let this sit. It means you let your town fall into disarray.
I know nothing of this.
Alex.
So you plead ignorance of the Red Guard.
Alex
of the Red Guard. Sorry.
Alex just kind of looks around. I'm assuming you're not blind.
A sign from like one of the shops just falls off.
So Bulg is at that comment. He says, "Oh, so you admit compliance with the Red Brand, do ya?"
Hey, I gotta work with this. I was given this, and I'm just making what good I have with it. What do you expect from me?
You mean derelicting your duty to save your own ass?
Alex just kind of elbows Bulg. We're not here to argue. We were here for information. Remember?
Oh, right. But then I can argue with him, right?
Kieran kind of smacks Bulg and says, "Come on, we need to be nice to the good man." And then, please tell me I have this spell.
Oh, jeez. Friends.
No, okay, I don't. Anyways, but like Bulg kind of, or not Bulg. Kieran kind of waves Bulg down and kind of tries to whisper to him, and he says, "I'll distract him. You steal the silverware."
Oh, good grief. Anyways, Cornelius, what was it that you wanted to learn here?
Ask him about Jarno Ulbrich.
Yes, you heard the man. What do you know of this person and what happened to them? They seem to have disappeared.
He looks out the door, looks both ways. Why don't we take this business inside?
If you wish.
And take off your damn boots. They're muddy.
Kieran fails to hear this at first, and walking inside for the first time says, "Ooh, a pretty pot!" and just runs in, tracks Bud as he looks at the pot.
Also,
Mirabelle just does not care. She just walks in and like looks at all the weird stuff this guy has. And the difference between the town hall and everywhere else you've been so far is this place is rather lavish. This is probably look more of a modest to a higher class place than all of the inns and the buildings you've been to. This place is raking some money in.
I was also going to ask, Kieran wears shoes?
He does. Surprisingly, he wears boots.
Kind of whispering to Bulg as we walk in and see this, and Alex is trying to take off her shoes. Well, your ideas of conspiracy seem to be gaining more weight by the minute.
So, unfortunately for you, it wasn't much more theory than it is superstition. Nothing like this happens for coincidence sake, Alex. But anyway, he goes ahead and he politely takes off his boots and leaves them by the front of the door.
Okay. He
letting his somewhat smelly half-orc feet onto the hardwood.
The wood just starts curling.
So in his nightgown, he takes a seat behind his desk of his office, and he turns the seat slowly around, and he looks at you guys with his fingers tented, but still has his nightcap on and everything. And there's a plaque at the front of his desk, a small sign that says his name, and it says Harbin Wester. And he says to you guys, "So you're looking for information, huh?"
That would be correct.
Yes, your town seems to be a hot spot for kidnappings.
And who do you work for?
Professor Abercrombie. And he points to the old man.
And the old man did not take off his boots at all, but rather there is no mud on his boots.
Of course, he's a
Even
wizard.
though, yeah,
Yeah.
it's catching on now.
I feel like the only people that actually took their shoes off were the worst people to take their shoes off.
What, Alex and Bolg?
Why would it hurt Alex to take her shoes off? She can kick you just as hard with boots or without boots.
No, that's exactly. I didn't say it was worse for us.
Oh, there you go.
Worse for him. Worse for him.
I don't know, getting kicked by a big smelly orc foot is probably a lot worse.
You have a point there.
Make a con save, why don't you?
Kieran wears boots because one time he stepped on a snail and he doesn't want to get a tetanus shot, so.
And there's one time he also stepped on leeches. He says this, he slides over like a small box, this wooden box, and it says "in." It looks like it's for paperwork essentially, and he slides it over to you guys. File out your request.
And what?
Oh, good.
Wait
Bureaucracy.
I was going to say, wait for the guard to show up?
Kieran kind of looks at the box and looks back up at him and kind of rolls his sleeves up and say, "Oh, I think I saw another pretty good mail slot on the other end of your behind."
Now, look, hopefully it doesn't have to come to that. There's no need for violence or threats. But
Yeah.
I'm sure you can understand that a kidnapping is there's a certain time component to this. We can't spend weeks waiting for the wheels of bureaucracy to turn.
Ah, I understand you. No time. And you know what they say, time is money. So,
Kieran looks around and says, "Right, so..." He holds out his own hand. "Stop wasting our time?"
I'm just gonna look at the professor and say, "Is everyone a cutthroat out here?"
which would appear to be so.
Well,
And
Bold coughs dismissively. This is why we need a strong military presence.
Yes, well, you try convincing Neverwinter of that. Now look, we're already doing your town a service by dealing with your problems.
Wait, he says, "Wait, what? What are you doing?"
What you're not doing, that is working.
Perhaps you've noticed the sudden lack of highwaymen on the way into town.
No, that was you.
Yes, well, that day they chose the wrong people to rob.
His mouth drops open a little bit, and he says, "I'm going to ask you to stop doing that."
Do I need to say it? Do I need to say it again, Alex?
And hold on, Pogue. Just let me handle this. And why would that be? Is it because of rule of law, or is it because you're in their pocket?
I got no idea what we're talking about.
This place seems rather lavish, while everywhere else in town is robbed completely bare. It doesn't take a genius to make that connection.
You can see that he starts sweating a little bit. And like, I mean Nixon sweat.
Nixon.
Nixon sweat.
Is there a hidden tape
Sweat.
recorder?
He says, "Look, I'm not completely a fan of this red brand, but if I've got two choices, I'd rather be with them than against them. And who do you guys think
Kieran.
you are, just walking in and just dismissing some of the goons?"
Kieran,
Oh, so you admit they're your goons.
Kieran,
I didn't say it was my goons. I said there was somebody's goons.
Yeah, but you made it sound like they were your goons.
Kieran, please go ahead.
Kieran walks up, and in his full height, Kieran doesn't seem to be aware of the height difference at all, but just looks at him, and he actually looks pretty pissed. And he says, "You're right. You had a choice. The red brand, or the people you swore to protect. You chose wrong."
Alex sort of is just. She thinks that maybe you guys are being a bit too aggressive here, so she just kind of, she's a little more subtle than that. She's gonna kind of look at. She's gonna look at the professor again and say, "Professor, how long do you think it would take for a letter to arrive from here to Neverwinter?"
If you were to send it via Familia, it would take probably a day or two.
I wonder what the Council of Neverwinter would think when they hear that their God, sorry, brain fart. What is the word I'm trying to pull out here?
Town Master.
No, I was
Governor.
Oh, there we go. I got it. I wonder what the Council of Neverwinter would think when they hear that their appointed officials are in the pockets of criminals. Wouldn't look very good for their reputations.
Would certainly not, Alex.
Volga's just going to go ahead and let Alex handle the situation and just start simply examining random knickknacks on the around the house.
One more
Uh-oh.
Isaac, you lag.
thing.
You're lagging very hard.
Ah!
Okay, wait, you're back. You're back.
Hello? Okay. Does Bulg know Kieran, ready to throw down?
Oh, he knows he's ready to throw down.
Okay, you might want to grab him by the scruff of his neck and just drag him away.
Okay, Bulg will do that.
as Kieran's getting dragged away, just complete ramrod straight. As Bulg is dragging him away, he just looks at the governor.
Yes, it wouldn't look very good for their reputation if that were to get out. Now look, I'm not particularly concerned at this point with your indiscretions. I'm simply trying to rescue kidnap victims, so perhaps you'd like to cooperate.
He says, "Look, I didn't have a choice. It was either I was part of them or they threw me out on the street. And this way..."
Sorry, you hear from the room over, "You always have a choice!"
And he gets really quiet at hearing that once more, and he said, Harbin says, "What am I supposed to do? What's a guy supposed to do? I came here looking for new opportunities. I got fired from Waterdeep. I used to be a clerk, you see. I heard there was a new town opening up, needed a town master. They voted for me, okay?"
Yes, and you seem to have flushed all of their concerns straight away, given the sorry state of this place.
I've worked for 50 years. Don't I get my retirement?
Not at the sake for those you represent. It's not how it's supposed to work.
Maybe you're right. I used to fight for the little guy too. But somewhere along the line, that got all lost. I just want to be the big guy for once.
Yes, well, how about you attempt to make it right by telling the good professor what he wishes to know?
Okay. I'll tell you what I know. So who is this person you're looking for again?
God, who are we looking for?
Aerno.
Yeah,
Aerno, what's his name?
Yarno
Yarno
something.
Albrecht.
Albrecht, there we go.
All right, but you didn't hear this coming from me, and you're gonna make good on your part if you're gonna deal with the red bread, aren't you? Oh yeah, delivery.
Suddenly, incoming bag of chips from across the room.
It's not delivery, it's Delicio.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Absolutely.
so, yes, well, seems we don't have much of a choice but to deal with him, since none of the proper authorities seem to want anything to do with it.
All right, you didn't hear this from me, and for all the gods' sakes, you better come through and take care of the red brand after the information I gave you. All I know about this Jarno Albrecht fellow was that he's a wizard, and he's coming to Phandelver, and he was supposed to be established in some order. Supposed to take out the red brand or something, make them go away, magic, woo! And he makes some random gestures. But all I know is that he went into Transcendent Manor, and he never came out. I assumed they got to him, and that was the end of that. Guy's a fool for going there alone. You're a fool there too if you're gonna go in there thinking that you can take all of them down.
Yes, well, we're not exactly the common folk now, are we?
I don't know. You look pretty common to me, and he kind of looks at the clothes that you're wearing that were muddy, and like the halfling. And Bulg looks a little bit odd, but he's still like a common soldier. He's got that appearance.
As he says that, Bull just happens to randomly knock down some knick-knack that's on one of his shelves absentmindedly. Oh,
Like,
sorry about that.
I was just about to do the exact same thing, because as soon as that happens, Kieran, you also hear another crash, and Kieran's just holding a pile of expensive-looking plates, and you see one smashed on the floor, and completely dead-faced, he says, "Oops."
Would you two behave yourselves? Seriously.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Fling.
Accidents happen, Alex.
How do you think this guy became governor?
he takes another like psychic like from Vicious Mockery. It's like, oh.
Well, now, okay, so where did he say that he went into by himself? The mansion?
Tresendar Manor,
Okay, the
which
manor.
is
Yeah, okay.
yeah, which you guys have the map. If you look at the map, it's on the east side, sitting on top
Yeah.
of a hill.
The innkeeper initially said that he thought they ran out of there as well.
Yep, so that's the second confirmation we have on that. Alright. Well, we'll see how your information pans out. Professor, shall we move along?
I think we've gotten what information we need from the scum.
Yes, well, come along then, Kieran, Bolg. Let's go put some troubles to rest.
Question. While this is all happening, I want to also be inspecting his kitchen.
Okay.
Hence,
What are you looking for?
how much food does he have?
Oh, okay. All right. He has a lot of food. This guy is
Yeah.
actually like rotund. Like he's getting like a hearty meal, like
It
3 square meals,
looks
maybe more.
fat.
So he definitely, when you kind of just go wander, you're just like being very bad mannered, and you're just wandering through like his house and his town hall and everything, and like you're just going through his pantry and his quarters and everything, and you can find that like he's loaded.
Okay.
He's getting food from somewhere.
I want to take 3 days worth of rations
Oh, good God.
and
3 days worth of rations or 3 days worth of food?
rations. Or like,
Okay.
like food, or like enough food to like constitute 3 days worth of rations, so like 3 days worth of food. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then he's not even gonna steal it. As they leave the door, Kieran's just piling the food into his bag, and he says, "I'm taking this, by the way, to people who actually need it."
underneath of Harbin's breath, you guys probably would hear that. God, these guys are worse than the bread brand. Breaking my china, stealing my food.
As they walk out the door, Kieran knocks over a coat hanger.
Once we get outside, I'm just gonna.
Okay, that's just petty.
Once they get outside, Kieran
Before
closes the door, and then from the inside, the governor just sees the door opened again, and a small arm reaches in and pushes a pot off a shelf.
He cries out to you
Okay,
guys.
I'm sorry.
Better not be the next red brand.
I'm sorry. That is incredibly petty.
What is your character's alignment right now? Like, where's your character's alignment?
He's chaotic good.
It's neutral good. It might slip to chaotic good, but right now it's neutral because he's planning to give that food to the people that they already met.
Sure.
That's not exactly how neutral works, but okay.
Yeah, details.
Neutral is supposed to be Switzerland. You are not Switzerland right now.
No, he's neutral good. He's neutral good. He's Spider-Man.
So you guys leave, and Cornelius, all he says to you was, "That was an interesting show."
Well,
Yes, well,
the only thing that's
some
interesting
people
about
can't
him.
exactly behave themselves. Kind of looking at Kieran.
Kieran's already like eyeing where the old lady was before, and he says, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
Anyways, Professor, while we deal with the rest of our business today, when you get back to the inn, if you could pen that letter, that I think our dear town master here deserves his comeuppance.
Absolutely. I will get on that right away.
Yeah.
And he'll
You really have,
start
you
walking.
Really, you really have faith in the system, don't you, Alex?
Awful good character, come on.
No, I know, but I'm asking your character to justify it.
Yes, well, we're not exactly in a position of authority. We can't go overthrowing the local officials.
Yeah, but it's not like he wasn't really doing much official authoritating anyway. Reminds me of a certain commanding officer I used to know.
So are we heading back to the inn right now?
I thought we were going to the manor.
Yeah, we were going to the manor.
Cornelius is about to head back to the inn, but he says to you guys before departing, as he's going to send the letter, he says to you guys, "Do whatever it takes to find Yarno, and pray the divines that he is still alive."
Mm-hmm. Professor, one quick question before you leave. What was the Yarno's specialty?
Enchantment.
Enchantment?
Enchantment!
How late in the day is it as well?
By this point, you had tea, so it's probably like 10
AM?
in the morning. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If the party is okay with it, Kieran would like to make detours to the people that they've met to hand out those rations.
Absolutely.
Sure, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You wander through town. This takes about like maybe an hour.
He's kind of just like, "Oh, I've happened across a little bit of extra food, and I figured you could use it."
Excellent.
All right. Yeah, I feel like Kieran is getting into he's very much going chaotic good right now, where so he's like Robin Hooding it up right now.
Yep.
It might happen if
The
this,
DM's
like,
over there like, I
continues.
feel the alignment shift.
I feel the
I actually have an
That's why I
explanation for
asked.
that, but I'll talk with you about that after.
Absolutely. So that's actually really great. You give back to the town, and the town doesn't even ask. Like they know that this is like they're not going to ask you. They actually are on your side when you do this, and they appreciate everything that you're doing for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the manor now, and we should definitely not go in guns ablaze, or not. That's a terrible phrase. But their guns don't exist. Let me try that again.
You
Crossbow blazing.
go in arm swinging.
Is we shouldn't just barrel in. We need to scope this out and figure out
Mhm.
how they come and go. in this
Kieran raises
place.
his hand.
Yes, Kieran.
I could probably get in. No one would ever know me.
I mean, he has a history of not getting caught before.
Me and the Shadows have a very close relationship.
Alright, so we're gonna go to the manor and basically what I'm trying to kind of scout out and look for is I want to look for like how the Red Brand get in and out of this place. Like if they're, like if this place has been abandoned for a while, it's probably, any property around it is probably overgrown because no one has, kept up any sort of maintenance on it. So my thought is that if there is a place that they go in and out a lot, it's probably much more worn down than, like, there'll be a worn rut of sorts in the vegetation where they've been moving around.
Okay, absolutely. Make a survival check to do so.
Survival.
And I'll just give you... Yep.
Okay. Survival.
Exactly.
Let's see.
So essentially, when you guys start walking towards the manor, it sits on top of this fairly high hilltop that overlooks the entirety of Phandalin. This is like the highest point within all of Phandalin. And to the south of the manor, like down on its hillside, the southern hillside, at the very bottom, there is this thick, thick forest that's just uncultivated land, just this thick, dense forest that almost sheds no light into it. But it looks really beautiful because it's that time in autumn and like the leaves are falling and it's just creating this nice foliage and this this carpet of leaves. What is your roll,
It is
Alex?
a 13.
A 13. Okay. So with a 13, you can see the manor, and leading it from the west side of the manor itself is this meandering pathway that slithers up the hillside. And essentially, the manor itself looks more like a castle than it does look like a mansion. And there's just overgrown thickets all over the hillside and all over the fence and the outer wall. But when you come up and you start to look around, you notice that the manor itself seems to be unused. It's probably in too much ruins to actually be used by the Red Brand. You can see that the walls are just falling off and there's not much existing of the roof anymore. It's probably more of a hazard if you were to live in the actual manor itself, which you think that because it's a hill, there's very likely that there's a basement which they're operating, and this would provide probably ideal concealment, if any, from them.
Well, Bulg, it doesn't look like they live in the manor. This place is falling apart. I suspect you'd fall through the floor as soon as you tried to step on the floorboards.
That's only because a lot of you are giants. To a normal-sized person like me, I'd probably get by fine.
Yes,
That's true.
but the manor sits on this large hill, and the ground seems soft enough that they could have dug a basement in it.
That makes sense.
And
Not
as
only
you-
would it make sure that they don't get caught in a shoddy building, but they also get concealment from their actions.
The group of you are just like wandering about the exterior of the manor, just walking around, eyeing everything. And at the very back of the manor, through a bunch of thickets, you see that there is this dirt path that's beaten, and you kind of just need to push yourself through the thickets to actually see this path. And it looks like it's done so for secrecy. But you do come upon a shed. This looks like a groundskeeper shed at the back side. So on the map, I'm going to indicate it's this thing right here. There's a shed.
Yes.
And there's a set of staircases that actually seems to go into the hillside itself. It goes down, and it looks like it leads underneath the manor.
Well, looks like you were right.
Yes, this seems to provide the concealment necessary to run such an operation, but the real question is, what sort of manpower do they have?
That's always the question. So I'm curious about this work shed. Bull wants to go check out the work shed.
You go check out the work shed. You open it to find that all the glass for the panes have been shattered and gone. There's this thick iron chain and iron padlock that locks the two doors that would swing to allow access closed. But you do find that there are all sorts of tools, hoes, and like saws and hammers and stuff within it. A few pickaxes here and there, but they're all aged and weathered.
So could I make an investigation check just to see whether or not there's some random loot or someone hid something in here aside from the gardening tools?
You would gain a better access if you were to break the chain or break a wall or get in somehow.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you want to break the lock, yeah?
Yes.
All right, make a strength check. Athletics if you have it.
Okay, athletics it is.
Or you can just attack the lock.
18. I got an 18.
Okay, with an 18, this is a rusted lock. You just it just breaks apart.
Mm-hmm. All right then.
Okay, when you step into this groundskeeper's shed, you can make an investigation check to see if there's anything hidden within it.
All right, let's go. And that is okay. That's a good roll. Plus my investigation, another 18.
Another 18. You find that there is what looks like in the ground a false panel underneath the grass, the dry grass that's collected at the bottom and the dust. And in this shed, it seems like there's a hidden trapdoor or something.
Or like a false, but I go ahead and I see the false bottom and I motion to Alex and Kieran to come check it out with me.
Yeah.
And Maribel.
And Maribel too, yes. I go ahead and I lift the false bottom and reveal what's inside.
When you lift the false bottom and you reveal what's inside, whatever's been here seems to have been taken at some point. It is empty. There, you can see that there's a small sort of a mattress of hay underneath, and the compartment looks like it's about 10 feet squared.
What do you need to put?
Someone was hiding something.
There are a few bottles of what look like moonshine and stuff here.
I suppose that would align with the story of how they party at night.
Yes, that could be true.
Okay.
Yep, half drunk in moonshine in the glass bottles.
Looking at the bottles, Alex just kind of like sneers at it a little bit. This stuff smells awful, and I'm not
it
even
smells
anywhere.
like alchemist fire.
I'm not even near it.
Well, when you're in the middle of nowhere and you need to get drunk, you'll take anything, Alex.
I do not agree with that at all.
Kieran raises his hand. I also concur with that.
You two have never lived till you've had jailhouse moonshine.
I think I'd rather be dead.
Oh, you wish you'd be dead after you drank a gallon of that stuff.
Okay, maybe like a little bit like meta, but Kieran just crosses himself.
Timora, bless us.
Good Lord.
Mr. gives us all good chances. Anyway, with that discovery being made, he goes ahead and puts the false bottom back.
Okay.
Yes, well, shall we see about dealing with their hideout?
Yes, let's.
When you guys head down the stairs, you notice that water has collected at the bottom of the staircase, the landing at the bottom, and there's no drainage. Like there's like about an inch of water, so your boots would get a little bit soaked when you step in, and leaves, kind of like the autumn leaves, kind of just mix in with all of this mucky water that's rained yesterday night. You see that in front of you, the doorway looks like it's a stone door with what looks like carved into this door is a T, a shape of a T or something. Probably means Tresendar or something. But if anyone wants to, or wait, actually, is anyone proficient in religion?
I believe I am. Let me double check. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Make a religion check.
That is gonna be. Let's see, my religion is okay. It's a 15.
With a 15, you realize that what you're entering now into is probably a mausoleum or a crypt.
Oh, they've taken up refuge among
dear.
the dead.
Or they are the dead.
Kieran shrugs and says, "Or they will be."
No, I'm serious, guys. Think about it. They never showed up at night.
they've only started to get more aggressive after a magician has come through the field,
Now
and they love to party.
now that's
That's a rather.
that's a
Sorry, go.
bit of a ridiculous conspiracy theory, Volg.
It's a little dark too, even for my tastes.
They're men and only men.
I mean,
Are you suggesting what? A healer came by and brought them all back to life?
no, it would be some sort of illegal necromancy.
Kieran looks around. Isn't necromancy just healers that don't give up?
I mean, when you put it that way, it doesn't sound as bad.
Anyways, we should be quiet and be cautious. We don't know how many are down here.
Would you like me to scout ahead?
Perhaps we need to get some idea of what we're dealing with. They should hopefully all be asleep or passed out at this point.
Hopefully being the operative word, but no offense, big guy, you're not exactly the quietest one around here.
I can't help it.
Clang, 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 clang.
Kieran nods and says, "You work what you have. You be proud of it."
Alright, Kieran, you can do your thing.
My thing, alright.
So someone needs to open this door. This is a large stone door, like the kind that you find in a crypt or a
I wonder
mausoleum.
who we have that could do that.
Allow me.
Okay, so you don't even need to make a strength check, but just Kieran might not have been able to open it, and that's how the game would have just ended.
He tries to open the door and it falls on him.
So you open.
Died.
You open the door. It swings inward with a low rumbling and grinding of stone, and you enter darkness as your eyes are just consumed by the non-existent light.
Oh.
And I think that's a good place to take a break. Do you want to say anything else before we do? Nope.
No, I
We're
think,
good.
nope.
Okay. Let's take a break here.
Alright, we'll
Alright,
take
we'll
our
be back.
5-minute break. We'll be back in just a minute.
Excellent.
All I can hear is Isaac eating. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, with Isaac doing his best Kieran portrayal. All right, DM, take us away.
All right, you guys enter in through the stone door, and you find yourselves engulfed in darkness when you stare down this long corridor that's probably about 30 feet. Define a marching order, and how do you proceed?
Did we want me to scout ahead?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you two define a marching order. I'll scout ahead a little bit first.
I guess.
Bulk will go in front because Alex can't see.
Yeah, I can't see shit.
Oh wait, I also can't say. Fuck.
Better get a torch then.
I do have a torch, but will that be okay for like sneaking around? I hope so. I have a candle. So will a candle be less noticeable?
Absolutely, a candle will be less noticeable, and you can cup the flame if you really needed to.
Okay.
However, it still produces light, so you're not completely in the dark. But you know, it's good.
It's a trade-off because you can't see.
Yeah, I'll use the light. Like I'll try to cup it a little bit so that if somebody's coming at me, it's not like an instant I see this light in this huge sea of darkness.
Let me look up what a candle's radius is.
I want to use the light basically just so I can see where my feet are, so I don't trip on something.
Okay, so it's a 5 feet radius and dim light for 10 feet. You get light for 10 feet, and it's dim light after 5 feet. Okay, I got you. There we go. So with that, you have the candle in your hand, and it's burning. It's burning away. And you start moving down the corridor, and this is just a stone corridor. It's perfectly carved. It's got that nice rounded arch at the top. When you come upon the 30 feet at the end, you see that there's a wooden door, just this massive wooden, like probably dark oak door.
Do you want me to roll stealth?
Yeah. Probably now.
Just because I did not. Mm-hmm. Oh god, no! Don't land on my.
Like I tell Matt, make up the numbers if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, it landed on my PP. I'll reroll. That is, math is hard, 22.
22, okay. So you go down this corridor, the stone corridor, very deftly. At the end of it is this large oak door, large wood oak door, and it's closed. It's got a circular handle on the right side. And there's no peepholes or anything to look into, however.
Alright. Kieran will just shine the candle back towards the other end of the corridor and kind of just, like, fan his hand over it as kind of like a signal of, like, move up.
Alright, I guess we'll have, like, Bulg, Alex, Mirabelle at the back.
Yes.
We will surround me by the people that can see.
We are your seeing eye partners.
They're just like a conga line of party members.
Yeah.
So, all right, Bolg, Alex, Kieran at the front, obviously, and all right. So coming to this door, you guys all are like, this is a 5-foot corridor. There's not much room for shifting, especially for you, Bolg. Kieran, this door in front of you it's closed at the moment, and it looks like it's fairly maintained door. It's not like super rusty or anything.
Mm-hmm. Right. Kieran says to the party, "I think this might be it. No telling what's on the other side, though." Would we be able to hear anything on the other side, actually?
If you want to, you can try to make a perception check.
I'll go for that. It's a beautiful 5.
5. You press your ears against it, and you hear...
What do you hear with your halfling ears, Kieran?
With a 5, you probably hear the faintest sound of water, but you're not sure what kind of water or how it is, but it's some sort of moving water.
Kieran, as he presses his ear to the door, says, "I hear some sort of beast, some sort of monster. Oh, wait, no, that's me. I missed lunch today, sorry."
You actually did, because you were handing out food to other people.
Oops.
What? Miss lunch?
Alright. I can't see anything, but I guess I could try to hear something.
just bumbling, moving through everyone to get to the door. Oh, super cramped right now.
I mean, we have the light. We have the candle now, right? So she should be able to see.
No, it's super cramped.
Oh.
It's not a matter of seeing at this point.
It's a
Just
matter.
feeling up
It's a matter
everything.
of Bulg. You're too big.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
But you
We're
managed
playing.
you managed
Upset.
to make it up to Kieran. And Kieran's small. You can hide underneath of Kieran can be underneath of you, and it'd be fine.
She's just like between her legs.
Exactly.
Kieran, that's a dress, not a blanket.
Kieran's like struggling underneath it, and he says, "I can't see."
Alright, I want to see if I can hear anything.
Yep. Make a perception check.
Don't betray me, Dad. Oh, hey, that's pretty good. That's really good. That's a modified 20.
A modified 20. You hear as well the sounds of running water. What you imagine it is you assume that there's probably water dropping into a larger source of water, like a small waterfall or something. It's very faint though, so you don't imagine to be a very strong water at all.
Did they build into a natural cave? There's definitely
Possible.
water.
Possibly.
Oh, 1 second.
Okay.
Well, if it's clean water, that might be how they get their drinking water down here.
Maybe it's a river of mead.
I don't know. These folks seem to prefer.
Need.
These folks seem to prefer their own brand.
The
Oh, they
red
would need-
brand.
Somebody took advantage of that. Thank you. Dad.
They would need the water to homebrew stuff anyway. Let's proceed onward. Bulg readies himself against the stone door to open it for.
Thought it was a wood
Kieran.
door.
Oh, I thought it was stone.
This
Either way.
one's a wood door. The one behind you, the first door you came through was stone.
Okay.
Don't push it like it's stone. You'll break the door off the hinges.
Breaks the door down. I got the material wrong.
Okay. So you open the door. Do you open it or do you breach through it?
The half-orc's thinking, is there a difference?
I mean,
Setting charges.
I mean, I'm just sort of pushing it just enough so that Kieran can get into.
Okay, so it's more of an open because you find that the door is actually very loose and it's not like super heavy or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I don't want to break it. Is the
Oh,
thing.
excuse me.
So you crack open the door and you find that from this hallway that you guys are in, the door opens slightly and you see that you are actually in an elevated position within the room in front of you. Which you see that to your right, once you turn to your right, there's a staircase that wraps around and it goes down into a lower floor. I will take you guys to the map now.
Oh boy. To the map.
Yeah.
So that I can see nothing. My human eyes betray me.
And in front of you, when you guys get onto the map, is this room, but it's actually, you can see pretty well because it's illuminated by torches on either side of the room. This room spans about 40 feet from Kieran to the far end.
Well, this is certainly more developed than I was anticipating.
Yes, well, I told you it was a crypt.
Let's go ahead and get in here, as Bulg says, stepping past Kieran and looking around.
When you start looking around, there's two staircases that wrap on the other side. This is a 10-foot drop from where you're standing to the point of the entrance to all the way to the bottom. And at the far end, there is a cistern, which is this fountain-like structure that pours water and it pools into a small pool-like chamber. And essentially, that's probably what you think the water you heard was earlier. Kieran, make a perception check at this point.
Yeah, no, don't follow my PP again.
You really need a dice box.
Apparently.
Uh-oh.
18.
Oh, Daniel DC'd. He'll come back probably really soon. 18.
Yeah.
With an 18, the things that you smell in this room, Kieran, and tickles your nose is you smell the flickering of torch flames, the smell of fresh water being pooled into the cistern, and what is that? Aroma. Fresh ales and foods.
Kieran drools a little bit.
But it's not fresh food, it's more like preserved food, but freshly preserved food. And your nose draws you over here to this direction of the room.
Rip the layout on Twitch.
I'll just hold my mouse here for a second until the layout comes back.
Oh man.
So I make my way to where you're pointing?
This is where you smell the aromas of food and stuff.
Got it.
But before that, there is a door in front of you on the right side of the cistern as well.
Okay. Alright, I'll try to move forward a little bit, stealthing as well, and doing the same thing I did before, covering the candle when I need to. See what's here. You said then there's a door right here, right?
Yep, there's a door straight in front of you. And you know what? Let's just wait until we get Daniel back at this point.
Sounds good.
Wonder if his internet went out on him.
Probably. That would be bummer.
Alright, we're just gonna put this in AFK mode for another few minutes, and hopefully Daniel will come back. So we'll be back.
Figure this out now.
Alright, so Daniel still seems to be lost to the void, so we are just going to try to fix this as best we can and keep going. So, let me just fix this while you guys... Alright, let me just fix this while you guys you can continue there, DM. We'll adjust this as I can. Let's see, which...
So Kieran, you come across these barrels and crates filled with ales and preserved foods.
Are they just like open?
The kegs of ale are not, but you can smell like the aroma through them, and the preserved foods are just like they're placed down, but they got like cloth covering them, but not in any way like to prevent them from being seen and.
Yeah. I want to remove the cloth and see what's in there.
You remove the cloth from the first item, and you find that.
There we go.
Welcome
Get
back.
him back.
Yes.
He's here. He's here.
Yes, he is here.
Awesome.
Uh-oh.
All right, we're
Here.
good to go.
Yeah, let me just bring up roll 20 again.
Okay.
All right, I seem to have broken something, but I'll fix it. Technical difficulties is the word of the day.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry about
We're
that,
bound
guys.
to face it at one point, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're all good. We're back. Back
Yeah.
to-
Okay, everything. So I can just continue.
Yeah, everything's back the way
All
it
right.
should be.
Alright, then.
The first cloth that you unveil, and you see that there is cheese wheel.
Oh, fuck me, yeah. Kieran will pull out his dagger and take a slice of that cheese.
You slice into cheese, you cut the cheese, and like a huge chunk of it just breaks off. And you can just smell the aroma. This is fresh cheese.
The halfling cutting the cheese. There's definitely a joke there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kieran's eyes kind of just, like, roll to the back of his head.
So, Bolg, you see Kieran standing in front of crates and barrels that you assume to contain food and ales, and he's just having a snack at this moment. He literally missed lunch, and he's just frothing at the mouth.
Please keep your noise down, lest we be ambushed right away, Kieran.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, hey, I exist on the map now. Excellent.
Yes,
I think I was stuck under Kieran.
I think so.
And
Bolg
only
is just
10
gonna.
feet. 10 feet from Kieran is a wood door, which you do not know what lies beyond. And he is eating his food away.
Is there anything else they have besides the cheese?
The
when you
water.
when you kind of just look and unveil the other portions of the crates, you notice that they have preserved fruits like prunes, raisins,
Oh, yeah, okay. Kieran's gonna take some of those raisins
some
and...
dried peaches.
Oh, okay. He's gonna take some of the raisins and the peaches, put them in his mouth at the same time, and then take a bite out of the cheese. Are there
We
any
got
nuts
some-
around?
Walnuts, some peanuts for sure.
Any almonds?
How much are you fitting in there, Kieran?
Kieran's cheeks are just full.
And then you see the almonds.
Mirabelle, please help him from eating us out, from eating and giving away our location.
She walks up and goes down the stairs, and someone moved her. She seems to be enthralled by the water, just skimming it with her hand, and and she's just playing with it, looking at her own reflection, and kind of just like scooping the water up and letting it run through her fingers. It's like,
Whoa, dude, water.
yeah, exactly.
Kieran holds out a slice of cheese for her, and he just says, "If you look close enough, you can see your reflection in the cheese too."
She takes the cheese, takes a bite out of it, tries to look for her own reflection in it, and then keeps trying to she nibbles at it to try to refresh the cheese, to see if she can see her own image in it.
F5 cheese. Oh god, you guys, we're so gonna die because you guys won't stop eating cheese.
Worth it.
Alex. Well, Alex, at the very least, we're too Gouda for them.
There it is. There's the cheese pun. Okay.
What? I'm sorry. I thought I could Havarti a laugh since we're taking a breather right now.
Here we go.
I hope you step on a Lego.
What an awful fate.
Oh shit. Okay, so to get us back on track here, I see that there are many doors in this room.
Absolutely.
But Bold goes ahead and decides to take the proactive approach and examines the door closest to Kieran.
Okay, are you doing this anyway stealthily or anything?
No, I am not.
What is your passive stealth? This is 10 plus your stealth
9.
ability.
9.
9.
Clang,
Okay,
clang, clang,
let me see.
clang, get out of the way!
I am just looking up something because this has nothing. This is nothing. Don't worry about it. This is.
Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry
It's
about
not
it.
Worry
Alright.
about it. It's fine. Just looking up.
You,
He's just looking up stat blocks. It's fine.
This has
Karen
nothing to do with
walks
that.
Karen walks up to the rest of them, trying to join the party, just shoving the rest of the cheese wheel into his bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought you were about to say shoving the cheese wheel into his pants.
I already got a thick-ass cake down there. I don't need the cheese for that.
So, Bolg, you are fixated on a door in front of you, right beside the cistern, right beside the barrels of ale to your right. Alex, you notice that there's multiple doors within this passageway, and obviously one of them is the door that Bolg is fixated on. The other one is the one behind you, kind of hidden and tucked underneath a small alcove from from the stairs that you have descended upon.
Oh, so this is a door.
That is absolutely very much a door, and it seems to go underneath the stairs into another passageway to somewhere else that you're not quite sure where. But, Bull, you come up to the door. What do you do?
I go ahead and just lean against the door to hear if there's any noise on the other side of it.
Make a perception check.
I will do so. 18!
Within 18, you hear that there is snoring beyond the door.
I go ahead and I motion to Alex to come over here quietly.
Quietly. Don't get stuck under the halfling.
And he gestures.
Okay, so there are people in the room.
Sleeping.
Yes, well, we could try to subdue them first.
But Bolg agrees with that plan.
But we have to make as little noise as possible as she looks over at Kieran, who is still playing with cheese wheels.
He's continued to shove food into his bag, and how much food can I actually shove in the time that we've had?
In the time that you had and working for your halfling speed, probably the full volume of your bag, whatever left that you can carry.
Oh, fuck me up, yes.
So, your bag normally has 30 pounds of weight and a specific volume, but yeah, just whatever's remaining in weight.
My backpack, you mean?
Yeah, your backpack, yeah.
So my backpack can hold 30 pounds normally?
30 pounds normally at 1 cubic foot. So, but you have some stuff in it, so you can fill whatever the remaining with.
I get 12 pounds of food.
12 pounds of food and whatever you can fit with each arm.
We'll just save the bag since I'm probably gonna need those arms very soon.
Yeah, there's jerky and stuff too, like maybe a dried mutton leg.
He has to put some of them down, and as they go by, he whispers, "I'll come back for you." Just curious though, how much how many days of rations does that translate into? Are we just going pound for pound? So.
Oh yeah, let's just do weights by weight category. So make it simple. Yeah, okay. So 6 days essentially.
Okay, let's go.
Bull goes ahead and readies with Alex to go ahead and slowly open the door.
Okay.
Sorry,
You're
I was memeing with Twitch chat.
It's what they deserve.
You open the door slowly, and the door goes, just cracks open, and the light from your room, which the torch sconces, illuminate into slightly the next room. You see that, it's a barracks, essentially. You see that there are double bunked beds on the right side as you enter, and there seem to be individuals occupying these beds, and the sheets are going up and down. They are being like someone's sleeping in them and someone's exhaling, and you can see that there are people in them, but only 3 of the 4 bunks are occupied. And I will reveal to you this.
Yeah, I posted that like Lord of the Rings. We've had breakfast, but what about second breakfast? That's Kieran right now.
Pretty much.
Okay, so there are 3. I see them very
Yep.
faintly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So how are we going to approach this, Bolg?
Well, do you want to hold them up or do you want to end them quickly?
I mean, we could always just render them further unconscious and leave them tied up in there.
Very true.
The point is, we don't want them being the reinforcements when things inevitably get bad.
Right.
And if any of them wake up, I suppose I could just put them back to sleep again.
True. Let's go ahead and tie 2 up and let's interrogate a 3rd.
Sounds like a plan. Let's just try to do this quietly.
Okay. So who goes in first, and who is going, and what are you using to tie these guys down?
I've got rope.
Yeah,
Okay.
we both have rope, hemp rope to tie them up with. Bolg is gonna is gonna be the first one to step into the room since he's in front.
Okay. So when you come into the room and you actually get like a proper sighting of everything, there are candles on the other side, and what you see is that there are piles and piles of crates that are just stacked on top of each other, and this actually looks more like a storeroom than it does a barrack. There are just like these crudely made bunk beds on the other side, which the Red Brands are using. But when you come straight through the door, against the 2 walls that on left and right side of you that hold this door in place is like a coat rack. You see these cloaks, these red cloaks being hung on either side, 3 of them to be specific. One for each of the Red Brand that you see here, you assume.
Yes, well, let's do this quietly.
Alright, so Bolg sneaks into the room with Alex behind him and prepares to tie up one of the Red Brand.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Stealth check, boys.
Oop.
Oh
Slow down.
shit, I didn't do very good.
I actually did okay.
Can
Remember, you guys
Sorry.
have Luck of Timora.
Can I also maybe like throw a bardic inspiration? Wait, no, actually that'd be too meta. Never mind, forget it.
I got a 10.
10. Okay. So remember, you guys have your Bardic not your Luck of Timora, the boon
Yes.
granted by you, by the priestess, and you can use it at any time, but before the long rest, because that's when it expires.
Yeah.
Right.
So at any time you want to use it, go ahead. So what is your roll, Bolg?
14.
14. Okay. As you guys sneak into it, your broom bangs into something there, Alex. But you kind of just like you stop breathing and everything, and they don't wake up. Hold your breath. Nothing happens.
Okay, so I guess we gotta try to tie these guys up then.
Yep.
Okay. When you do so, make a quick initiative check. This is just going to be initiative against Bolg, Alex, and the Red Brand.
Okay.
Let's see.
I got 10.
10. Okay.
I got a 19.
19. All right. So the both of you operate on separate individuals. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Doing so, you quickly fasten 2 of them, which are on top of each other in terms of the bunks. So 2 of them you manage to secure against the bunks, and you tie them and restrain them, and they don't even wake up yet. But by the time you actually manage to get the 3rd one, or move towards the 3rd one, he wakes up. What do you do?
Get him!
I said we're probably gonna have to clobber him back into unconsciousness.
Okay.
I thought we were going to get information out of him.
Oh right, that's a good point. Okay, so instead
No, so
I'm going to.
I was gonna say, Bolg is gonna take out a hand axe and place it underneath his chin, and says, "You make any noise louder than a dormouse, we will go ahead and cut your carotid artery, and the next thing that will be read are your bed sheets."
He is still unawares of what's happening, and he actually cries out, "Ah, what's going on?" And he does not realize it.
Ching, axe right to the neck.
Really?
He's dead, and the red fills up his blood. The blood fills up the mattress sheets, and it's become a red cloak too.
Kieran sits in the back.
Just kind of looking at Bolg. Like, was that really necessary?
Kieran widens.
You said quietly. You did not say non-lethally.
Kieran widens his eyes, and as he walks into the room, kind of takes a seat in one of the stools, and pulls out some nuts and eats them, and says, "Wow, that was really something, wasn't it?"
At that point, the two that were restrained are awakened by the one that cried out, and they're like, what's going on?"
Shut up.
But they're restrained.
Both of you quiet unless you want to join your friend there.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh god. What is my intimidation?
You should have an okay intimidation.
It could be worse. Oh, that's terrible.
You have your luck.
I don't know if I want to use it on that.
I mean, think of like what happens if we don't.
I guess I'll use it. That was even worse. Okay, that's a 5.
Dang.
5. That's your max?
No,
right now?
the other one was like an 8.
Okay, so your total is
8.
8. Okay. They yell, like, they don't yell super loudly, but they're just questioning what's going on. Is this some sort of joke?
Kieran hops off of his little stool and puts the nuts away. And I'm assuming because they're like tied up and like in their beds, they might be at like actual head level with him.
They're one on top of each other bunks. So you only see one of them. The other one's above you.
Okay, so he'll go to the one that's on the bottom bunk, and he says, "Well, you see, the thing is here. We're friends of the village, and well, we've come to handle this problem that you're a part of here. Now, be very, very careful about what you say next." And he's going to reach for this guy's head and lovingly stroke it, and then ball his hands up into a fist and grabs the guy's hair and pull his head back. "We wouldn't want any accidents like your friend over there, now would we?"
He squirms a little bit, but he cannot move because he is bound. And he says, "Oh God, you're not one of them heroes, are you?"
Do you want me to roll for that, or
no? You don't need to. Well, what are you trying to achieve? Like, are you trying to?
Was that was an intimidation? I was going for like intimidation, but
let's keep rolls out of it for now. Let's just play it out.
Okay.
And he says, "You're not one of them heroes, are you?"
Kieran looks at him and says, "Big darn heroes, actually."
And he looks like a very young lad. He's probably barely 18. And he says, "Oh God, not like this. I can't believe I'm going to die from a hero.
Not like this. Not like this." Kieran.
And he starts babbling. He starts yammering. He says, "They said that there's not going to be any heroes this far out. I can't believe I'm going to die. Why am I going to die like this? No, please."
May I non-lethally bitch slap him, please?
No, Kieran holds out his hand and says, "Let me handle this. Let me handle this." And Kieran hops onto the bed. You know, his legs probably don't even reach the ground, and he pulls out his ukulele, and he's gonna very quietly strum the strings in a very quiet song to hopefully calm him down as he goes, "Shh, shh. Hey, come on now. You look like a young guy. I'm sure you didn't really mean to hurt all these people. Now, tell you what, let's cut a bit of a deal, and I promise you'll get out of here alive. Our goal is to save the village, not to hurt people."
The one above you, with sort of like a more grizzled voice, says, "Oi, these guys don't even have the jewels to do it. Don't listen to them, son."
Kieran's gonna take his dagger and reach up and poke through the mattress just so that he feels the pointy end of it in his back.
So, are you like... Oh, okay, so you're just gonna like prod him slightly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stab him, but like gently prod him to let him know that I have a weapon with me. And Kieran's going to say, "Shh, we're not talking to you just yet, but we'll take care of you if we need to."
He says, "What is that? You sound like a halfling. What is that? Is that a dagger? Is that supposed to be a dagger? Feels more like a pinprick to me."
Now
Kieran kind of like laughs and says, "Maybe I'm just happy to see you. Sorry, couldn't help it."
Alex is gonna be like, "Would you all stop? It's not about having the gall to kill you. No, we don't want to cause undue suffering to anyone, including you ruffians, but keep it up, and the half-orc may just lose his patience with you."
And I can't stop him. My friend over here, my human friend over here, certainly can't stop him. I'd say you maybe work with us just a little bit. I'd hate to see him angry.
And he says, "What half-orc? I can't see anything. There's no half-orc in here. You're lying."
Bolg, turn him around.
Bolg simply goes ahead, approaches the twin bunk beds, and lifts the mattress before dropping it back down into its harness.
The younger one on the bottom bunk says, "Oh God, I'm going to die by the hands of a half-orc."
Shh! Now, would you stop yelling, unless you really want to die?
The other one on top says, "Oh, there is a half-orc. What in Mask's name am I doing here?" And you can see that probably a patch of the bed gets very dark.
Kieran pulls his dagger out and goes, "Ooh," and just wipes it on his hands and resheathes it. But then he looks at the younger of the two and says, "What are you doing here, though? You don't really look like the kind of thieving type, and trust me, I know a lot of thieving types. You look like maybe you just got caught up in the wrong crowd."
He says, "My name's Tom. I come from Daggerford. I just come here to make a bit of coin. My mom's very sick. Please don't hurt me."
"Oh, like we said, we're not going to hurt you, but that is a rather tragic story."
Okay, I believe you. You may not hurt me, but everybody else will."
"You mean the Red Guard? Oh, once we're through with them, you won't have to worry about them."
"Oh, please don't kill my friends."
"They're your friends, really?" Kieran kind of looks up.
You should choose.
Your friends with the bedwetter?
You should choose your. You should choose your friends more carefully. Now, we don't intend to kill. Well, kind of like looks at the one that is now dead. We don't intend to kill any more of you.
They don't know that yet.
Though the law will, of course, deal with you.
Tom says, "I cannot do prison time. I just cannot. I'm too young."
I mean, apparently you're old enough to rob some innocent people.
"I did not do any robbing. I just sweep the floors. I make the food."
You're still complicit now. Behave. Now, anyways, do as we ask. We're going to ask you some questions, and if you would like to answer them, we'll simply leave you tied up here until our business is dealt with.
The one on top says, "Don't tell them anything, lad. Glassstaff will have your head for it."
Wait, sorry, who did he say?
Glassstaff.
Who's Glassstaff?
You asked him that, and he says to you in sort of a snarky manner, "I may be a bedwetter, but you have no idea what you've gotten yourself into."
What all is in this room?
Why don't you tell us then?
When you look around, when you look around the room and you see that there's the bunk beds and then obviously the one that's deceased on the top bunk of the other bed, you see that there are a bunch of crates in the back behind you.
I was just saying if there was anything interesting to pick up around here.
Well, you can pick up like the chests, like there's small chests and crates, like probably a foot cubic foot.
Kieran also kind of scoffs at what the guy at the top bunk said as he says, "You're right. Didn't think I'd meet a bedwetter today." And he kind of nudges the guy tied up on the bottom bunk. "Am I right?"
Now, it's not...
Hello?
You're really trying my patience now.
Oh, come on, really?
What? Hello? Oh, crap.
Oh,
Rip.
rip.
I could hear him.
Yeah, he
I,
was just
I
like,
heard
"Oh,
him for
shit."
about 2 seconds before the lag took him. How sad. All right, so we'll try to continue here.
Yeah, just keep going.
Now you're really starting to try my. Oh, there he's back.
There, it's back.
There we
You're
go.
really starting to try my patience. I'm sure you all have heard of us at this point. A few of your men on the road met their fate to our friend, the half-orc here.
I've heard of you, yes. And so has Glassstaff. He's probably even watching you now. Powerful mage he is.
Yes, well,
How powerful?
if he has any common sense, he will leave knowing we're coming.
He looks to Bolg and he says, he's powerful enough to create warts on your skin and then burn the warts off of you.
Kieran is kind of writing this down in his notebook and says, "Oh, really? What else can
Alex
you do?"
just kind of stands there like, that doesn't seem like a particularly helpful ability.
Yeah, Bull kind of agrees, knowing that even a amateur wizard is able of at least doing something like Ray of Frost.
He says he can even make you shrink until you're very small and squish you with his boot.
Kieran kind of laughs and says, "I should tell you about that time another half-orc stepped on me. Wasn't pretty, but I lived."
Didn't you say you enjoyed that?
Only by pretty people.
Now,
Glassstaff will have your hide, I tell you.
not before we have yours, if you don't pipe down.
Kieran looks towards the guy in the bottom bunk. "Come on. Forget what this guy up here is saying. You want to go back to your mother, right? Look, if you help us, perhaps we can put in a bit of a good word with you. You can be back with your mother, eventually."
You cannot do that. If you put in a good word, someone's gonna know I snitched.
Well,
Just let me go. I won't do anything.
We can't take that risk. You could alert the others, and then we'd have all sorts of problems. No, you'll stay right here until our business is concluded, but you need not be an enemy if you just sit there and cooperate. As for your friend here, well, you seem to think Glassstaff cannot be beaten. I assure you that's not the case.
come on. Help us put an end to this.
I just want to go home, please. I don't want to go to jail. I cannot go to jail. My mother will die.
Yes, well,
I'm the only one she's got left.
have you considered how many people's mothers suffered because you robbed them blind? You and this
I did not do
organization.
any robbing.
You joined
I
this
just-
band. That's complicit enough.
It's the only place that they were offering work.
Kieran kind of balls his hands into little fists and looks away for a second, and he says, "But you were a part of it. Even if you didn't mean to do any of the harm. I'm sorry, but there are just some things you just can't run away from."
You can see that he's tearing up at this point, and he's saying that you're right. I made a mistake, and that's on me. If it's time I must do, I will do it. But he says, but please, my mother, at the very least, help me out.
What is it that you need?
There's a coin purse in the cistern. If you fish it out, there should be some gold in it. I want you to take it to her. If you be
Karen.
passing by Daggerford.
Kieran nods and writes the location down in his notebook. And as he closes it, he says, "I promise, your mother will be well taken care of."
He says to you, and he means this earnestly when he says this. You're like one of those heroes in the tales, the ones that slays bandits.
Yes, well, we'd prefer not to slay the bandits if necessary, but unfortunately with this line of work, sometimes people are insistent on drawing arms on you.
I am so very sorry that I chose the wrong profession.
Hey. It was... Mistakes happen.
He says...
Sometimes good people make the wrong choices.
Doesn't mean you can't repent now.
Doesn't mean you can, and it doesn't mean that you can't... It doesn't mean that you can hide from the consequences either sometimes.
Now, what about...
Well,
oh, go ahead, Bold, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Bolg is just sitting back there eating a chicken leg while watching you guys do your things.
So what about you? I really don't want to call you Bedwetter. Do you actually have a name?
He says to you, "Names go screw yourself."
Last name fuck. First name fuck you.
Kieran kind of giggles at this. Go screw yourself. That's a pretty funny name. Why would your mother name you that?
I'm just gonna say, I think you can go back to sleep. I'm just gonna knock him out. This dude is not helpful.
Punch
Yeah,
him.
you just knock him out.
Roll for it to see if you just punch him instead.
You miss and you punch him. No, you miss and you caress him.
No, apparently, why did I listen to you and roll? That was such a waste.
Crit.
It was a crit.
You punch him out next week into next week. Um,
No, Kieran,
Tom-
you are right. This cheese is fucking delicious.
I know, right?
Now that your colleague has been silenced, tell me, how many men are in this complex?
Tom says, "Before I tell you anything, you're heroes, which means you cannot tell no lies and you have to keep promises. That's what they say, is it?"
Yes, that is what they say.
If you're looking for truthfulness, there's no one more truthful than Alex.
Yes, I'll promise you that we will find your mother, and the Church of Ilmater will take care of her. She doesn't actually know if there is, a branch in that city, but we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yep, you'll figure it out exactly.
Details. Cross that bridge when we get to it.
And he says, "Then please, just ask away."
Yes, well, how many men are in this complex?
He looks up at the top of the bunk of the bed, and at this point, water's probably dripping down onto him too.
Ew.
And it's not water,
Water,
but
quote unquote.
he says,
Kieran will do him a favor and kind of just like roll him out of the way of the drip.
he says, "There are probably at least 6 more."
All right, 6.
Oh,
We can
that's-
handle
then-
that. Now who
And
is
then you have Glassstaff himself, the powerful wizard he is.
this glass staff exactly?
I'm not sure. I cannot tell you exactly who he is, but he came back a few months ago and he just took over things.
Well, there's your mastermind, Bogue.
Who says that this glass staff is not the man who we're looking for? Would you go by your birth name if you were going to join a criminal organization?
That's a troubling thought, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
You hear Mirabelle from the bat like, "You like bridges a lot, don't you?"
She just kind of stands there. I don't catch your meaning.
Well, you keep talking about them, and you always say that you love to cross them when we get to them, but
it's not literal, Bolg.
No, that's Mirabelle.
Oh.
That
makes far more sense that Mirabelle.
Yeah,
saying,
I said Mirabelle says you really like bridges.
It's not literal. I'll explain it later. We're busy. Now we'll see about dealing with the rest of them, and then we'll come back to get you, and we'll see what is to be done. I mean, he doesn't seem to be like, he doesn't really seem to be a threat, so I don't know if I really need to knock him out. He can probably just stay there.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I'm gonna leave the room and kind of start trying to figure out what else is in here.
Okay, you leave the room. He's definitely told you that somewhere in the cistern he's hidden a pouch, or a satchel or something with
Kieran
the
will
gold
go
for
look
his
for
mother.
this.
Okay.
Kieran will look for this.
When you examine the cistern itself, you notice that the cistern is about 8 feet or close to 10 feet in depth. So it's kind of hard to see into the depths of it, but you do have a candle to help you look around.
Okay. He'll hold the candle up as just above the water as he digs around with his other hand.
Okay. What you see, and this is probably a little bit difficult for you to reach into, is that make a perception check actually before you do so.
Ooh, baby.
We can just pull it out with the broom.
16.
With a 16, you see that there is a satchel within like 2 feet underneath the water, like it's kind of fixed to a rock anchor, and it's just floating. This leather pouch, this bag, this satchel.
Karen will not be able to reach that. 2 feet is pretty much almost as tall as he is.
Exactly.
We'll just pull it out with the broom. It'll be fine.
So you pull it out with the broom, and as you pull out of the broom, Mirabelle kind of just prestidigitation it, and the water just you just wring it out. And you have this leather satchel.
How much money is in there?
When you kind of rummage through it, you actually don't find you find not only money, but you also find some other stuff. You find a health potion, this glass potion with almost a liquid. You can see sort of like the faintest sign of a liquid, but it's almost like intangible. It's almost unseeable. And then there's a set of clean clothes and the 50 gold pieces of a getaway stash, it seems.
Yeah.
At least it seems like whoever this person was, this Tom person is, he's dead already.
Just
in another universe.
You're used to us playing a party of murder hobos. I understand.
Whoever this Tom person is, it seems like he might want to actually get away from this life at some point.
Kieran looks at everything that's in there, and he just looks very somber. Hey, Alex.
Hmm?
Do you really think there's such a thing as second chances for people?
I don't see why not, as long as they're willing to repent for the things they've done.
He tried to run, but I guess he didn't start soon enough.
Wouldn't you be afraid to run, Kieran? I mean, these are a gang of cutthroats. Not exactly the most forgiving bunch either.
Kieran just walks past him, and as he moves on, you barely hear it, and as it echoes off the walls, and he says, "Running's all I ever do."
Alright, I want to listen at this door so we can keep moving.
That's not a door, that's a wall.
Oh, is this thing not a door? I saw it looked like there's light. It's not a door.
There's a door up here.
This thing.
Sorry, it looks like a door on the map, because it's like there's a little bit of random light coming from like right here.
Sure. Do you want to inspect that light that's shining through the wall?
Do it!
I mean, maybe.
Make a perception check then. Oh, actually, no, it would be an investigation check.
It doesn't matter, I rolled terrible. A whole 6.
6. Yeah, you definitely see that there is like this wafting air, but you're not really sure what it is, and you pay no mind to it.
Okay.
Okay,
So Bull goes up towards the actual other entrance.
Yep.
yeah, we know that there's a door here.
Okay, so it's a solid wood door, and you need to open it, and it seems to be it's underneath the ledge. It's a small alcove,
okay.
and it's significantly smaller than your height. So this is like maybe a 5'7" doorway frame. So you need to duck down to get through.
Alex, you want to go on ahead?
I suppose.
Kieran doesn't have to duck.
Okay, when you
Neither
when
does
you
Alex.
when you open the door jangles for a little bit. It's kind of loose and shaky, but you make it through, and there's a hallway. This 10-foot corridor, and there seems to be torch sconces on either side of it.
Okay, so I can still see. That's good.
Yeah, most of the red brands that you encounter so far are humans, so it would make sense that there is light.
I'm gonna get out of the way.
Thank you.
This looks like it's just a hallway.
And at the far end, there is a set of double doors that are made of stone.
Well, this looks like where we're supposed to go.
So, as the both of you, Alex and Bolg, are making your way across the hallway,
It's a trap.
you start to feel a feeling underneath your stomach as you begin to fall. Make dexterity saving throws.
Oh man. What is my dex save?
Oh dear.
You know what? I'm
as
gonna
the-
roll a totally different d20 because that one has betrayed me today.
Wait, sorry, everybody rolls or just the two in the front?
Just the two in the front.
Oh shit.
Awkward.
Actually,
Dex save? Dex save, you said?
Yeah, make a dexterity saving throw.
16.
16,
what is-
okay.
Let's see, mine's a +5, so that's 17.
17. Okay, I'm just gonna scoot you guys back for a little bit because this is how it goes down. Kieran and Mirabelle are okay. 17.
17.
Okay, so
16.
only the two of you need to make it, and you succeed as you guys hang on the ledges of this pitfall trap, which descends about 20 feet down.
Oh well, that's a bit dangerous.
Kieran is
Yeah.
going to try to help Alex up. He probably won't do anything, but he's going to try.
It's just like it's a gesture.
It's the thought that counts, right?
Yes.
Do you want me to roll anything for that?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so perhaps not going that way.
Or, that's the way we need to go.
He has a point. You wouldn't put a trap on something that you didn't want to protect, right?
Ugh. We can easily long jump this.
Can we though?
Kieran looks at his tiny little legs.
Bull, you might be able to, but some of the other people might not.
Can I toss Kieran across the
What is-
gap?
Like, what is the function on long jump? It's like based on your strength score, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Can I toss Kieran across?
You can probably toss Kieran across, but no one heavier.
Let's see.
Okay.
I gotta figure out how long jump actually works.
I always look it up every time I want to do it, but I always forget.
Let's see.
Long jump,
Yeah.
when you make a jump 10 feet on foot immediately before you jump, and half the you can only have the. I can't sticky note in the way.
It's something like a number.
Number of feet equal to your strength score, assuming that you run 10 feet before you do it.
Okay.
A number equal to your strength score. So yeah, I don't think I can jump this because it's 10
So-
feet.
Also,
Okay.
you guys notice that on the sides of this this trap that there are small ledges which you can skirt yourself across if you really wanted to cross.
Yeah, if it's equal to your strength score, I can't cross it because I have a strength of 8.
Yeah,
Oh, just ninja your way across, right?
Bull can clear it.
Focus your chakra to the bottom of your feet and run across the wall.
I'm not high enough level for that.
Karen, brace yourself. I'm going to toss you.
Wait, what?
We're tossing the halfling.
Grab the halfling by the scruff of his neck and angles him in with his feet in my hand, and I'm gonna toss him like a shot put.
Okay, make a strength check.
Okay.
Time for him to go plummeting into the hole.
Halfling, go down the hole. Okay, so that's plus my modifier, so 22.
With a 22, Kieran, what is the words you say as you get catapulted across this pit? Make a dex save. Or an acrobatics check when you land on the other side, if you land on the other side.
Okay, hold on. Stop landing on my...
Dice box, man.
Modified 20.
Modified 20, you land and tumble on the other side, and you squish the cheese wheel, though.
Rip
A
the
lot of
cheese.
noise has been made here, however.
Yeah, unfortunately.
When Kieran lands, he makes like a squeak noise, like a stuffed animal.
Okay, so
Alright.
Kieran has made it across successfully.
Alright, my turn.
You don't even need to roll. You succeed.
Yeah, I tell Mirabelle to stand back as I rush forward and jump, clearing the gap.
Yep, I definitely cannot make it by doing long jumps, so I guess I'll have to try and like shimmy across the side or something.
All right. When you shimmy across, doing so, you will need to make an acrobatics check.
Oh boy, acrobatics
Absolutely.
check. Come on, don't be terrible, please. 14.
With a 14,
Alex,
What?
I was gonna say wait. I was gonna toss you a rope so that way we could help Mirabelle across.
Too late, I rolled.
Okay, so as you shimmy yourself across, Alex, it's no problem for you. Mirabelle will try to do the same as she will attempt to do so.
Oh boy.
And,
Hopefully I have not betrayed Mirabelle here.
okay. She slips.
Oh, no.
Mirabelle, use your luck!
What is that? She slips but catches herself as she's sliding and
Woohoo!
just barely makes it with an 11.
Woo! Woohoo! That was close.
Yeah, a little bit.
So she has used her luck. Timur smiles upon her, and she smiles back. And you guys all manage to make it across just barely, some of you.
That was just a little bit dicey.
Some more than others, considering the loss of, like, the cheese wheel. It's just denser now. It's not lost.
It's just denser.
It went from Swiss cheese to just regular cheese. No more holes.
Okay, so
Okay.
what do we hear with this door?
It is a stone door, and it seems to be, like, almost perfectly sealed. You made a pretty good religion check previously, and you think that this is probably where the tomb is.
Oh boy.
All right. Let's get this started. So, do you want me to push in, or are we gonna wait?
I mean, we can't hear anything, so we might as well... We already came this far across this stupid pit. We gotta go in.
Yeah, that's true. Onwards.
Wait, before we open the door, though, Karen is gonna go ahead and hide on the back of Bulk's backpack.
Okay. All right, you clamber up and you disappear behind the backpack. As you open up the doors, Bulk, do you want to open up both doors, one door, or what?
One door, the one on my side.
Okay, you open up the door. It swings inwards, and you reveal to yourself a completely dark room. There's no light here. Kieran, you still have your candle. Do you want to get rid of that, or you wouldn't be able to use it if you are on his back? So you might want to pass it off or something, or blow it out.
Give it to Alex.
Kieran,
Kieran looks at Alex. Yes?
were you not paying any attention to what just transpired?
Sorry, it's down for like 2 seconds.
I was saying give the candle to Alex.
Kieran hands the candle to Alex and then clings to the backpack tighter.
Okay. When you open the door and you become one with Bolg, you are exposed to 3 large sarcophagi, and they stand in this dusty crypt. And propped up against each of the sarcophagi, or sarcophagus, is a human skeleton clad in bits of rusty mail and armor. What do you do?
I'm just trying to see what's going on. Okay,
Strange. Why would they go ahead and put a trap right before the crypt?
Perhaps there's something else here.
yes, well, is there another door to go to another room?
Let me try and see and find out. He carefully moves into the room more, trying to get his bearings.
I will
Sorry,
place the skeletons down so you guys know where it is. So at each of the sarcophagi, there is a skeleton, a human skeleton propped up upon them, and they have little bits of mail stuck clinging onto them. Not much armor at all, but also there are 3 columns, false columns, which are carved with images of spreading oak trees.
Spreading oak trees.
Oh,
Huh.
Can we
interesting.
maybe roll to see if we might know what that is? Or recognize it?
This would probably be a lore check. But also, when you guys look at the door from the other side, so the side that's on the inside, you see that the stone wall, or the stone door that you guys came through, has copper plating on its backside. And Bolg, you also notice that there would be 2 doors, one door on this side of the room and one door on this side of the room, which actually you see some lighting coming from underneath the door itself.
There's light coming out of the door on the right.
Yep.
He announces to the party as he goes ahead and moves forward into the crypt.
Yes, well, let's just not disturb anything and get through here quietly.
Yes. Okay. Bull goes ahead and with Kieran on his back walks up to the door and tries to peer into it or get vision on the inside.
Hang on one second. I'm gonna move you guys back just for a bit because
Here it
you
goes.
stepped
Here we
into
go.
this point. And as you step past the 2 sarcophagi that flank either side of you, the skeleton starts to shake and rise up. Roll initiative.
Why?
Yes.
Why
Oh, shit.
away?
I dropped the d20. No, come back.
Some of you guys rolled for history to discern the oak.
Yeah.
I think it was just Kieran, wasn't it?
Just Kieran, right?
Here, let me roll for it.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so you haven't rolled yet. All right.
11.
11?
Yeah.
You recall nothing, unfortunately.
Oh, that's fair.
What you do know is that there is probably something to do with almost like fertility or the spreading of a civilization. This is probably indicative of a civilization, and you might imagine it to be probably more to do with some elven folk because this is a tree, but you're not sure anything else beyond that. Okay, initiative.
The tracker is not here.
The tracker is here.
It's not here for us.
Not for us. There it is.
There it is.
I got you.
Nope. Damn it. There.
Okay. Mirabelle's got a 12. And that is accurate for everyone else?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, Alex, you are up first.
Okay, there are skeletons moving. Are they doing anything yet, or are they just like rattling?
They've pretty much risen up. So they've gotten up out of the sarcophagi. Well, they weren't in them per se. They were propped up against them in a sitting manner.
Okay. Somehow I don't think it's going to be very talkative, but I have to try to say something. I'll say... Whoever you are, or were, we don't mean you any harm. We're just trying to get rid of the brigands in here.
Okay. You gain no response. You see that you see subtle magic binding the bones together and making them rise up. Which you think that necromancy is at play here.
Bulg's over there like, I told you, bitches!
Kieran's just like, there's a healer that isn't giving up!
I guess I'm just gonna have to clobber it with a broom then, because it doesn't want to talk to me.
Okay, broom in one hand and candle in the other.
Yep, so I'm just gonna have to hit it with just the one-handed broom attack. Let's see, my modifier is 5 on that, so that's gonna be 21.
Yep, absolutely hits.
And that is with one hand, so it has to be a d6. It's going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage to this skeleton right here.
Okay, yeah, you smack into the skeleton. Anything else you do?
And then I'll use my bonus action to kick it, I guess, because I don't have any extra hands to punch it.
This is your broom, right? And you said 8 points of damage?
Yeah.
It actually dies.
Okay.
The bones, the subtle magic that links the bones is very weak and fragile, and the broom just smacks into it and...
Alright, so I'll just scoot...
Wow.
I'll just
What was
scoot...
that?
I'll just scoot over here and use my bonus action to kick this one, then.
Okay.
And that is a natural 20 of a kick.
Wow.
So we're gonna roll 2d4 of kick damage here. Oh, come on, are you shitting me?
Did you get 2 1s?
I rolled 2 1s. So that's a whopping 5 points of bludgeoning damage. D4s, you betray me.
5 points of bludgeoning damage total.
Yep.
Okay.
I rolled
So the
2
one in front of
ones.
you dies. Describe how you do this. Like, what does this motion look like? The one in front of you that first hit with the broom is dead. This one, however, is not, but it's severely weakened.
On the first one, she just kind of, once it's clear that it doesn't want to, talk to us, she kind of just shoves the broom forward at it, and like the end of the not the broom end of the broom, like the stick end of the broom, it goes like right through its eye socket, and she just kind of like slams the skull into the wall right there and smashes it.
Okay.
Then running up to the second one, tries to kind of kick it away from Mirabelle, but kind of stumbles a bit because it's still rather dark in here.
All right. You've done significant damage, and you see the bones being super brittle. This is probably in the centuries worth of oldness and age in these bones. Bull, you're up. Oldness.
Bull is going to go ahead and move towards the other one that's by Annabelle with Kieran on his back. And he's going to take out his wormhole, and he's going to do what he does best.
All right.
Okay. Rolling attack roll. I think that should be an 18.
18. Yeah, absolutely hits. Which one? Oh, you're attacking the one in front of Kieran? Okay.
Yes, that one. The one that's to the lowermost one.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Double sixes. So that's 12. That's 12 plus 3 points of bludgeoning damage. That is 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Just for the math, so you know how awesome this is. You actually do 30 points of damage.
Yes.
Weakness,
And-
right?
Yeah, it just blows up into bone dust and bone meal. Okay, so the last one is going to attack Mirabelle because Mirabelle was the first target it saw. So it's going to swing for Mirabelle as it produces a short sword, pulls it out of the sarcophagus. But the short sword is not a full short sword. It's just a remnant of a short sword, like a broken blade of a short sword. And it's going to hit Mirabelle with a 18 on the die.
I tried, Mirabelle. I'm sorry.
Plus 4, so that is going to be a 22 to Mirabelle, dealing only 1 point plus 2, so that's only going to be 3 points of damage to Mirabelle.
So not that bad.
Not too bad. It just catches her on the cloak, and she kind of just reels back and pulls her cloak and stuff away from it. Yeah, that's it. Mirabelle's turn. God, this is too close for her liking. He's going to use her action to disengage and move behind Bolg.
Yes, as
Kieran.
she said.
Okay. So I'm gonna use Vicious Mockery on the last skeleton left as Kieran kind of calls out from behind Bulk, and he goes, "To go up against us, you'd have to be pretty boneheaded." Boom! And because he's like holding on to Bulk, he can't actually pull out his ukulele, so he kind of just like holds his hands out and like air guitars. Mealy mealy mow.
Okay, what save is this?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, it fails.
Okay. That's the full 4 points of psychic damage, and it has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
It has only 3 points of health and dies as its jaws just drop, and like a cartoon, its head just rolls off, and then the bones disintegrate. Like it just hits, like it just disconnects everything, and just clatters to the ground.
Kieran's still giggling from behind Bolg, and as he wipes his tears of mirth away, he goes, "Oh, I slay me."
You did good, Kieran. You did good.
Kieran holds out a hand, just like palm out in front of Bolg.
He reciprocates it with his own palm.
Boom! Mealy mealy mow!
God, the air guitar. Okay.
The air lute.
Air lute.
Oh god, air mandolin, please kill me.
Okay. Back on track, guys. Now do we hear anything?
When you come up into the room, and you listen to it, you don't even need to make a perception check, but what you hear, Alex, is, "Shut up, you bitches!"
But before we do anything further, Bolg takes out 6 coins and puts 2 of them into each of the bone ash piles.
Okay. And on each of the piles, you actually, when you kind of just look at them and do your ritual thing, you find that each of them has a signet ring attached to one of their phalanges. Each one of them carries the signet ring.
Does the symbol mean anything to anyone?
This signet ring seems to be the Tresendar family symbol. You saw the T outside on the crypt. So this is probably of the ancestors of Tresendar.
Wait. Rest more on your metacarpals?
Wait. Introll. Isn't Tresendar the name of the asshole elf that I was warned not to go mess with?
No. Was actually... No. Tresendar is not the elf. The elf you were told about was Darren Eatermath. Okay. Just checking. Just making sure. Alright, but anyway. So he does the ritual, and then he goes up and hears the person cry out, "Shut up, you bitches."
I think they're aware of us, Bolg.
Let's introduce ourselves then.
Fine. Okay.
Did they
We gotta open this door.
at least laugh at my joke?
In what manner do you open the door? You hear like someone say, "Shut up, you bitches," and it just goes really quiet.
Okay, so she's working under the assumption that they heard us and they're like lying in wait. So I'm going to... Actually, I'm gonna try to get... I want to get everyone to, like, step out of the way. Like out of line of sight of the door.
Okay.
Like, step away from the door. In case there's a volley of arrows awaiting.
Okay.
I'm gonna just
Okay.
jump. Is the door, like, is it properly closed or locked, or is it just, like, sort of hanging there in the frame?
It's closed, and it's you're not sure if it's locked because you haven't pressed up against, like, you haven't pulled the handle or anything.
Oh, and
but it's closed.
also important for my purposes here. Does this door, does it seem like it pushes or pulls?
This door seems like it pushes inward.
Okay, that works. All right. So I'm gonna actually do this from, like, the side here. I'm just gonna climb up on this thing and on this sarcophagus, and I just want to, like, basically, I'm, like, you know, and I'm at the end of the sarcophagus. I'm gonna turn the doorknob, and if it is unlocked, then I'm going to, like, push it with the end of the broom to open it, and step up onto the sarcophagus at the same time, like, in one motion.
Okay, so you wanna you don't want to be there when it opens.
Yeah, I don't want to be in, like, in line of sight when this opens, because I'm expecting a hail of arrows.
Okay, you open. You do so. You press the door. You make sure it's loose, and in one fell sweep motion, the broom kicks the door open, and the door swings in slowly. But something pushes the door, and it slams the door shut.
Well, that's what I thought. They're definitely aware.
My turn?
Something tells us that we're a little unwelcome here.
Yes, Bogue, your turn.
So, goody. I attack the door.
Just before Bulg attacks the door, Kieran is. I'm gonna give him some bardic inspiration for the upcoming fight.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go in initiative. Alex opens the door. Bulg attacks the door. Mirabelle will hold back, and she'll stand at the far side. And probably, like, channel some magic. You can see that she's ripping something from the weave as this cloth of fiber appears in her hand, and it starts to glow with force. Kieran, you cast bardic inspiration. What do you do?
Oh.
Avenge the cheese wheel.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Inspire me with the power of cheese.
As they break down the door, Kieran's voice booms through the room. Show them how you smile. It's only for a while. Take what you need. Leave them to bleed. Let them know bitter while your revenge is sweet.
Through as you're inspired and Bulk, how do you break down the door? Do you want to just sheer attack it and hope for the best that it breaks, or do you want to just
with the maul?
Okay, all right.
I have a sledgehammer. I'm going to use it. By the way, I connected with a 24.
No, make an attack roll.
Yeah, no. That was my attack roll. 24.
Roll damage.
Okay, that's what I needed to do. Let's see. Ooh, I get to reroll both of these.
Oh no.
Well, one of them turned out better. The other one did not. 7 points of 7 plus 3, so 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
10 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh man, that just destroys the door. That is just enough for the door to just come off its hinges and collapse slowly down in front of you. So we'll resume initiative, which was Kieran's turn. And as you finish your song, your diddly, you hear one of them say, "Oh shit, that guy's got a nice voice." I feel conflicted.
No, they have the power of song.
And as you open the door, you get a short sword from either side, just two-pronged attack on either side towards you, Bulk.
Okay.
So, they held their actions essentially, and their attacks are going to be a 12 to hit, which absolutely does not hit. It misses.
Yep.
How do you dodge? How do you block this? How do you parry or whatever you do?
It shinks. It tries to get into the chainmail, but my pectorals just move it so swiftly that the rings carry the blade for me.
Okay.
Oh, God, yes.
Blocking with
right.
pecs. Blocking. an orc character, an orc relation character blocking with his pecs. We've never seen this before.
No, we never seen this before.
No, completely original. OC, do not steal.
So it is now officially their turn. That was their held action. It comes back to their turn, which the one on the right side of your perspective, it's going to try to swing and slash its short sword at you, but there's not much room to work with. Both attacks miss. The other one will try to do the same as well, and the highest roll they get is an 18 on one of them. The other one misses.
Yeah, the 18 will hit.
Okay, with an 18, it's going to do to you 5 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And it catches you as you're just blocking. You're just parrying this flurry of blows with your maul, but one of them managed to slip by and get you. Alex, we're back to your turn.
How much damage did you do again?
5 points of
Okay.
piercing damage.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to. I can't tell what in the world. I think it's another guy up there. All right, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's 2 guys and a prisoner.
Okay, so I'm gonna just sort of slip past Bolg. Excuse me for a moment, Bolg. I'm gonna
Of
get.
course.
Oh, there's some more people in here. Cool. I'm gonna get in here.
You walk in and then it's like, oh crap.
I've got. Oh, there's more people in here. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, I'm gonna get in here, and then I'm gonna. Actually, I'm gonna keep. I want to step one more step. I should still be in their zone of control if I step one more
Absolutely.
over
Yes.
You step one more.
here. Because Bolg needs to get in here.
Yes, I do.
And then I'm gonna use my action to broom. I'm gonna broom this guy first.
Mhm.
And oh shit, that's definitely not gonna hit. That's a 9.
Top or bottom?
Top.
You miss. He finishes his blow. He actually gets one into Bolg, and then he sees you just so quickly run in. He just ducks, and your broom catches the iron gate.
Let's see. How does this? Sorry, reading. How do I have to actually hit to use flurry of blows, or do I just have to try to make an attack?
I believe it's you just attack.
I'm just making sure I can actually do it. Let's see, flurry of blows. Immediately after you take the attack action, you can make 2 on. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna spend a key point to do that,
All right, awesome.
and we're gonna make two unarmed attacks.
Okay.
So
You find that you are in a jail cell, and there's not much room to operate. And you see that there are prisoners, 2 females on the south side, and a male lad, a young lad, to the north.
All right, so he parries the broom, but I'm gonna try to take 2. She just kind of gets on one leg to take 2 kicks at this same guy. Don't betray me, die.
Okay.
Come. Oh my God, are you serious? 13.
It does not hit. He actually just catches your kick and throws your foot back at you.
I'm gonna come back around with another one. Come on, please hit. Good lord. 17.
17 hits.
Hey, I hit something.
It's a low-level combat grade.
What a waste of a key point. Okay, that's gonna be let's see, it's a 3. So 6 points of bludgeoning damage as he parries the broom. He catches my foot the first time, pushes it back, but then she just sort of immediately kicks, pushes herself back off the wall and kicks him again and manages to find some purchase.
Yeah, as you kick yourself off the wall, you find acceleration in your twist, and you knock him right in the chest, and he just gets the wind knocked out of him. Bolg.
All right, stepping in. Let's make the magic happen. Starting with the one on the top.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's roll attack. 21.
Yeah, destroys.
Let's go. 5 and a 4 is 9 plus 3 is 12.
That is the one that Alex had started on. It dies. He dies.
Boom.
I just want to note here, like I'm literally just running around in this room kicking people in the chest while I've got like a broom in one hand and I'm holding a lit candle in the other one.
This red brand is red done.
Cinderella Extreme Edition. It's past midnight, bitches.
Midnight ringeth for you. I turn to the other red guard and I go ahead and with my orc intimidation, I yell at him, "Drop your weapons before we turn you into mince pie!"
Make an intimidation check.
I loved hearing you say that. 14.
14. He says to you and replies by yelling back at you, "I'd like to see you try! I'm only yelling because I can't hear anything!"
He apparently has not seen what I've done to his buddy behind me.
You are blocking his line of sight.
Kieran yells.
He is...
Yes, I will end my turn as I have nothing more I wish to do right now.
Kieran is going to yell back,
Kieran,
"Challenge accepted!"
Alright, Mirabelle will attempt to step in. Can't really see anything. Can't really get in, actually. Mirabelle will just stay behind you, Kieran.
Okay.
Kieran, you're up.
Okay. I can totally just see over
Bold shoulder.
both shoulder, right?
Yep.
Okay,
no,
I
under.
want to.
Weren't
Oh,
you
wait, no,
riding
you're
on his
still
backpack?
on him, right?
I'm riding on his back, yeah.
Yeah, he's still on my back.
And
Yeah.
even then, I could still I still have like that Lightfoot halfling, so I can just move through everyone's feet. But that's beside the point. I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on this entire bottom portion of the room.
Okay.
So, like,
verify,
it cut
what do I
it-
need to do?
Dex saves.
Wisdom. What Dex? Dex. Yeah, it's
Dex
Dex. You're right.
saves.
Okay.
I lied. It's yeah. I want to cut it off so that like we aren't affected by it. You know what I'm saying? So like here.
Okay.
You're trying to make
So,
the, you're
you
trying
want-
to make the
yeah,
prisoners
yeah.
light up.
Oh wait, those are the prisoners?
Those are
No,
prisoners.
no, actually, no, those are enemies. You don't know that. And
But
you
you-
cast
but-
the spell.
But DM already said they're prisoners though.
Oh.
No, I said it towards you.
Oh.
You and
Uh.
Bolg, because you're the only ones that know about that.
Okay, well it'll affect
I
one.
mean, make an insight check to assess the situation.
I would like to make that insight check.
Make an insight check to assess the situation. I'm
Dice
not
don't-
unfair.
Fail me now. That's actually going to be a 16, which isn't awful.
Okay, yeah, you begin to twirl the magic in your fingers, but then you realize that they're not dressed in red cloaks.
Okay.
And they're behind bars for some reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, good to know. So then instead, I'm going to hold that back, and I'm gonna use.
Alternatively, just so you know, Fairy Fire does not do any damage.
I know.
So
But
you
I
can
was
still
thinking.
use it.
I was just thinking it's like Dex, and also like we can, see the room. But that's fine. No, it's okay. I'm gonna unsheath my rapier and just from Bolt's back stab this guy.
Wait, Kieran has a rapier? Is that thing must be like 3 times bigger than you?
No, it's a regular size
It's proportional to the
To the
height.
user.
Yeah,
called it-
exactly.
The rapier's name is Toothpick.
All right, make an attack roll against this red brand in front of you.
Okay.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
Oh, that's good. That's a 22 to hit.
22. Yep, that will hit. He does not even expect this. Like, just expecting big orc, half orc in front of him, ball to the face, but just like this pinprick somewhere, like a lethal blow.
That's 10 points of damage as Kieran comes in riding Bolg like a horse and stabs the guy with his rapier, and he goes, "Cheers, love, the cavalry's here!"
Oh, Jesus.
All you hear is in response, "Ah, my spleen!"
That was the spleen?
Guys,
Okay. It is his turn. Bolg is intimidated, has intimidated this guy, but not to the point where he's fearing for his life. He's going to try to attack back at Bolg with 2 short strokes. The first one's going to be a 19. The second one is going to be a 23, so I assume both hits.
Oh,
Yes.
them enemies with multi-attack.
You take 6 points of damage. 6. and 4, so that's 10, 12 points of piercing damage as he just gets those blows into you.
He triggers my racial ability, Relentless Endurance.
Oh, that bad, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
So it looks like this should have been 2 lethal blows as he stabs me approximately in the lung. But Bull just goes ahead and reels back and lets out a humongous battle cry. I'm not finished with you!
Oh, man. Oh, man, this is so good. Okay, Alex, you're up.
I appreciate that reference, Daniel.
I was going to say you're going to get these hands, but that would require me to drop my...
I was expecting that to be the next thing you said. That was good. Okay, my turn.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, I had to make sure that you knew that someone appreciated that reference.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna broom this guy. We're gonna see if I can actually... Oh my god, I cannot hit anybody. A 12.
He has just been invigorated with the cuts dealt to Bolg, but then he gets feared.
You know what? That D20 is going to dice jail because what the hell?
But he manages to parry your broom, for sure.
2 dice jail with you. Okay, new D20. We're gonna use a bonus action to try and kick him. Will I hit with this one? 16.
Yeah, that will hit.
That's gonna be 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
5 points of bludgeoning damage will finally finish him.
Good grief.
And you kick him. Where do you kick him?
In the spine.
That seems really difficult. Probably just like in the throat.
You kick him in the throat, and you collapse his trachea, and he smashes his head against the back of the pipes. The iron bars, and he just slides slowly to the ground.
Beautiful.
For all intents and purposes, you guys are now out of initiative.
Bull goes ahead and puts down his maul and starts using it as a rest. When did they get so auspicious? He goes and leans against the wall and tries not to bleed out.
When you lean against the wall, all you hear is and just like light tapping on the back of your back.
Yeah, sorry. He goes ahead and adjusts it so that Kieran's on his not on getting squished on the wall.
Kieran drops to the floor.
And then, once you recover, you then remember that the cheese has gotten squished even more.
No!
Can we worry about more important things than the cheese wheel?
Like my life?
Kieran's like crying. He's like... How is Bulg looking in terms of health?
Very poor. He had to use his racial ability to not get knocked out.
Don't we have health potions somewhere?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Alright, I will go ahead and consume one of the health potions. 2d4 plus 2, I assume?
Yep. 2d4 plus 2.
Let's see. Bolg had 2 potions. I had 1 potion, and I think Maribel has 1 potion.
7. Okay, so I used 9. I got 9 out of that, so I'm up to 10. Yeah. That's 1 less potion. Alright.
Yes, well, better that than bleeding out.
Why don't we check on our fellow, the people who have been imprisoned here?
So what you guys see at that moment is that you guys. This is really weird for them. This is actually probably super frightening as you see just this half-orc go into a blitz, kill people, have like this girl with a broomstick just beating people down, and Kieran just going for vital organs. There's a woman in the southern pen of this jail cell, and she's clutching her daughter, or what do you assume her daughter, because they look physically similar, clutching onto her, hugging her tight, and trying to turn her away. On the other side, there is a young blonde boy, and he's kind of just rolled up in sort of like a fetal position against the wall.
Kieran, why don't you try and help the boy out? I'm going to make this room less cadaverific.
Kieran nods, and
Cadaverific.
I'm assuming this is the boy you were talking about, right here?
Yeah, that's him.
That's
See, yeah, when you mentioned prisoner, like, I thought it was that one, not the tokens, but yeah, okay.
Well, these two are prisoners, and then this guy's
Are
in
you sure
bad
that
shape.
this is a person and not just a pile of stuff?
It's a person. I
Jamie
think.
says it's a person.
No. This is a person.
Like,
Oh.
I'm pretty sure this is like a pile of clothes. Like,
I
This
thought
is
it
a
was a
pile.
person.
Okay,
That's a pile of clothes.
like there's
Okay,
a pair.
I-
I can see a pair of pants and like a shirt in here.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought it was a person.
It looks like a person in the fetal position.
Yeah, or like in a straitjacket.
No. So just for reference in the future, if there's like a person or a character, then it's always going to be in a token marker, not like
Okay,
That.
okay.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. That's like I saw tokens
will-
outlined in red, and
I will show you. I'll tell you if that is the case.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna toss out the tokens. You guys talk to people.
Are the doors to the cells unlocked?
They are locked. These
Oh.
are jail cells, and they are locked at the moment.
Assuming one of these idiots had the key.
Yeah. Kieran
Yeah,
will
let's-
call back to Bolg. Look for a key. Maybe one of those dead bodies has it.
I go ahead and take search for a key.
You managed to find a key. One on each of them of the red brands within this cell had keys. So both of you would find keys eventually.
Okay, so I toss the keys to Kieran and to Alex to go ahead and free the people that are locked inside while I toss out the bodies.
Okay, I will open the cell.
Open
Okay.
the cell too.
When you open the cell, the woman holding her daughter says to you, "Who are you?"
Oh, just your
Concerned,
general.
concerned citizens, right, Alex?
I was going to say your average do-gooders, but that too.
When you look at the children, you see that the boy to the north is probably about the age of 13, while the daughter is probably roughly 18 or so, just become like a woman, very young woman, and the mother probably middle-aged.
As Kieran opens the door for the young boy, he says, "Hi there. Hi. No one will hurt you anymore. Come on, is that your family over there?"
He kind of just looks up, like he's still on the ground. He kind of looks up at you. He's got these bright blue eyes, and it kind of almost pierces and rivals that of your own. And he's kind of just in sort of this burlap sack, sort of potato sack, sort of gown that he's wearing. His clothes seem to have been stripped away from him, and so do the other two women on the other side, wearing these very, very poor clothes.
This
Look something.
this is not just simple banditry, Alex. This is something far more heinous.
The mother would run across to the other side and kind of just almost move everyone aside if you allow them. And she says, "My boy."
Volg moves out of the way and lets her approach him.
She says, "These monsters, they've beaten him, tortured him,
Why?
deprived them of food. You see, my husband was a traitor, and he would not cooperate, and they murdered him and took us captives."
Volg takes a very deep breath and goes outside to go ahead and take his rage out on some corpses that need to be pulverized.
Kieran tries to talk louder to drown out the squelchy, crunchy noises. And he says, "Well, we're here to put a stop for that. For good. Is there anybody else that might be down here? Whether they're innocent or part of the red brand guard, whatever."
She says, I cannot tell you. I'm sorry. I do not know."
That's all right. You've already been through so much, you and your family. We'll make sure you get out safe.
She says, I do not have anything to give you exactly, but my name is Myrna Dendrar. I used to have a store in Thundertree. Hidden away is a safe box underneath the floorboards. If you go there, you can claim whatever's left in it.
I'm actually going to, let's see. I need to unlock the alms box to get some stuff out, because this seems like the time to bring that into play.
Kieran will kind of hold a hand out to calm her and say, That's very, very generous of you, but really, we're not doing this for any sort of reward. Please, just make sure you and your family are safe and well taken care of. We'll make sure you get out of here safe.
I guess I don't really... I may just end up giving her a gold piece, because, like, her trying to carry, like, multiple other coins without, like, a coin pouch is going to be kind of annoying.
She has clothes piled up over there, right? So she does have, like, some items. Like, she doesn't have any... You don't see any money or any, like, valuables. But she does have, like, her clothes and, like, her small accoutrements.
Bulk returns into the room carrying two purses that belong to the former Red Brand. These might be useful to you.
There you go. And I'm just gonna take one of those and put some money from the alms box in it so that they can go to town and actually, buy stuff. Let's see. I'll put like 50 silver pieces in one of these.
Okay, 50 silver pieces. Fair enough.
And give that to her. And what was the inn we were staying in? What's the name of the inn? Anybody remember?
The Stonehill Inn.
Stonehill Inn.
Okay. So I'll get that so she just, gets out the wooden box and the key and unlocks it and puts money in the pouch and hands it to her and says, once we lead you out of here, you should head back to Phandalin and, into the main of Phandalin and head to the Stonehill Inn. The innkeeper there is a fine fellow. He'll get you accommodations for the coin here.
She says, "Thank you so much for helping us. I have relatives in Neverwinter. I will go there as soon as I can." And she also says, though, "I have no intent on returning to Thundertree. It's just simply too dangerous, and if you come across Thundertree and you come across my store, you can feel free to take whatever's that I told you about. Just look for the Dendrar shop."
Dendrar.
Kieran will also reach into his bag and hand her the cheese wheel and some more food. Here. It looks like it's in a bit rough condition, but it's still edible, and it looks like you and your family haven't eaten in days. Please, take this.
The boy says, "It looks like it's got a halfling arse in it." And Myrna is like, "Lot Nars!"
Kieran kind of just waves him off and says, "Shh, it just means it's bootylicious." So how much of the 12 pounds do you think for 3?
For the cheese wheel, probably like 3 pounds.
Pounds. And anything else that I might give them, like cheese
I mean,
or like fruits?
I gave them money. They can buy food at the inn.
But they look like they're gonna keel over right now. Okay.
You got to give the halfling credit, at least. He's thinking about their immediate health here, Alex.
Yes, well, we should get them out of here if we expect them to keep their immediate health.
They
right.
walk at the same time.
Alex, we probably should make sure they get over the pit.
Yes.
Myrna is going to say to you guys, we can find our own way. We were taken in, and I know the way out. Just
Are you sure? Because the way out might be a bit more pit-y than before.
Pity.
Oh.
You see what we're saying, boss?
They say, is there any other way out?
We will find one and we will help you get out.
Perhaps we should just stay here for now.
We'll come back for you.
We'll tell you when it's safe, and hopefully we'll find another way out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
Alex, there's another door the opposite way. We should probably go check that out next.
So, right here.
Yes.
Yep. That is the door.
What do we hear?
When you put your ear up against it, you hear absolutely nothing.
Kieran, you want a boost?
Kieran walks over and says, "Boost," and he's just like smiling.
Yeah, so he goes ahead and offers a hand to the halfling and puts him back on his back.
Okay, so I guess we'll kind of open this door and see what's on the other side.
Okay, you open the door, and you come to a very small corridor. It's no more than 15 feet in length, and at the end of the corridor, to your right-hand side, there's another door, but a wall to your left.
Okay, so I'm gonna do something different here because this place has had traps in it already. So we're gonna just walk forward very perceptively and just sort of like do
Tap.
Yeah, do the
Tap with the foot.
Yeah, do the like blind lady thing with the broom and just kind of tap in front of me to make sure there's not some other hidden nonsense.
Are you sure you don't want to use the brush end?
I mean, you could. I don't know if it would put enough pressure down to trigger anything.
Dust all the traps away. Broom of magical trap dusting. Make a perception check as you do so.
Broom of magical trap dusting. Oh, why am I gonna roll good now? Are you kidding me? 24.
4. Okay, you see no traps in front of you, but when you kind of keep going, like I'm assuming you're gonna be doing this the entire corridor, right?
Yeah.
You start to keep dust, and by the time you get to the end of it, your broom hits the left wall, which is you see dust and stuff go underneath of it. And there's this draft. There's very much a draft here.
I guess I'm gonna investigate and see if I can make sense of this.
Okay, yeah, make an investigation check.
Oh, boy.
There's on your right side, from your token, relative to your token, there is a wood door, and it's closed.
That's gonna be a 9.
A 9. You press against the wall, and then the wall begins to slowly recede into the earth.
I'm gonna call Bolg over and point out this moving wall.
Bolt
And it's
gets
just
in there.
slowly tumbling down with that grinding stone noise.
Okay.
And there's still a door right here, yeah?
Yeah.
Do I hear anything in that door?
You don't hear anything. You made a really good perception check, so I'll just use it as well. You don't hear anything inside, but if you were to touch the door, it is locked.
You want me to unlock it, Alex?
Maybe we should make sure there's not people in this room first.
Good call.
So do I see anything? It's dark.
In that room, when you come into the room, you still have your candle, right?
Yep.
Let me see. So it is very dark. Your candle provides some illumination, and you can see this place looks like a workshop. There's like a workbench, and then there are whole sorts of assortment of crates and items within this room. But at the far side, where your human vision allows you to possibly see, there's this wide open expanse, and it just seems to break from the natural stone chambers, the rooms that you've been to more of a natural open crevasse or a cavern-like system.
Okay, so that... I don't see anybody immediately, I don't hear anything. So maybe we should go open that door.
Okay, Bolt goes ahead and goes back and opens the locked door. And by open, I mean attack it with his maul.
All right, you attack it with your maul, make an attack roll, and do some damage.
21. And attack roll. I get to re-roll that. Alright, that is 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
12 points of bludgeoning. This door just splits in half and just crumbles. And what you are revealed to is a fairly small room, but it is a room with racks of weapons lined on the walls of this chamber, and including spears, swords, crossbows, and bolts.
Ooh.
And there are a dozen dirty red cloaks hanging on the side of the wall.
This
So
is their armor.
Yeah, when you do like an inventory check, you find that there are 12 spears, 6 light crossbows, 8 quivers for the crossbows, 6 short swords, and 4 long swords. And there's a dozen red cloaks hanging on the opposite wall.
Let me... While you're looking through there, I'm just going to look something up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Bulk doesn't see anything of use, but certainly will keep this area in mind for when, after they clear it out, selling them or giving them to the costal would be a good way to earn some extra praise.
Let's see.
Absolutely. This is definitely a very good... This is like a small armory, fit for a small garrison.
This explains how they were able to just take it over so easily.
Okay. So you said that there's like crossbows and things in here, right?
Yep.
Light crossbows.
Okay.
Like crossbows, spears, long swords.
That counts as a simple weapon, so I can technically wield that. Might be worth picking one up.
Bull takes a light crossbow and tosses it to Alex.
Alright, I'm gonna pick that up. Let's see, let's add that.
And there's also... So you pick up one of the 6 light crossbows.
Yep.
And I assume one of the 8 quivers of bolts.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
How many bolts are in a quiver?
20.
20.
20. Okay, 20. I'm not particularly trained in these things, but you never know.
Bull goes ahead and turns to the other 2 and asks them if they see anything in the armory that they want.
There's another crossbow and some more crossbow bolts, right?
Yes.
Yep. There's 5 more.
I'm gonna have that.
This is
Okay.
pretty big.
So, crossbow and 20 crossbow bolts.
Yes. Alright, Bull goes ahead and leaves everything be, and then goes ahead and gets back out. Okay,
Get out of the
so
way.
should we go down this natural cavern path?
It seems to be the only other path, unless you want to jump over the pit again.
So when you guys come into the workshops again, you notice that Mirabelle is against the sort of the work table, and you see that she's petting something.
Oh god. Mirabelle, what in the world are you doing?
She doesn't even turn back. She continues to stroke whatever it is she has on the work table, and she says, "Can you taste it?"
Oh god, did she find a cat?
Taste what?
The rainbow.
When you guys look over her shoulder and what she's petting, it's actually a pelt. And she says, "Can you taste how soft it is?"
Someday
Kieran-
we're really going to have a talk about which sense goes to what.
Kieran kind of looks up in the air and goes, that looks like a Mirabelle. Umami?
You guys, as you look over on the work table, she is actually like stroking a beaver pelt.
Oh, beaver.
Just taste how soft it is.
There's some innuendo there. That's bait. That is bait.
Yep. Bulg is just going to pass on that and just focus on getting into the cave.
Okay.
You might want to go ahead and switch that light out for an actual torch, Alex.
Yeah, probably. But it's getting about that time.
Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you.
Alright.
Alright, yeah, I'll put the candle down and switch to a torch.
Okay. The candle goes out, and you flint and steel yourself a torch, and the torch explodes in a brilliance of light, affecting some of your dark vision for a moment. And you reveal that this is actually a fairly large cave system, a lot larger than you could possibly imagine. And this looks like it's natural. It's almost to what some would say unfinished compared to the other chambers of the basement of the manor itself. And when you kind of use the light in front of you, you notice that there is a rickety bridge, a rope bridge in front of you that spans a crevasse that goes down the length of this cavern. And there are some natural rock pillars here and there. So this is a rock pillar right here, and this is the drawbridge with the crevasse that goes down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you guys do?
Should we get going, Alex?
Yes, just be careful. We don't know what to expect in this natural cave, and do watch the crevasse.
Yeah.
Right.
Try not to fall in the crevasse, or else you'll take me with you.
Yes, yes.
So we don't really see much other than this one bridge.
When you come to about there, Alex, where your light allows you to see that there is a pathway here. A 5-foot pathway that just turns right and disappears, but it is very much across the rickety rope and wood bridge.
I kind of want to get vision on what's going on over here. There's like a rock in the way. Can I see past it? I'm trying to see if there's another exit to lead the prisoners out.
The light is disappearing from you as Alex wanders by herself into the cavern. What do you guys do?
Bolg is going to follow.
Okay, you follow. And obviously, Kieran is attached to his pack.
Yes. Yes, I
She's
believe.
sort of thinking that, we came in from what is effectively the, it'd be the left from her perspective right now, so an exit may be in this general direction if I could... I can't actually go this way, though. Oh, there we go.
There we go, yeah.
I'm just trying to get vision as I meander through here, looking for a way out.
Yeah, so you're just continuously walking all the way through the cavern, and you see that the cavern continues... sorry, not the cavern. The cavern itself continues southward, as well as the crevasse, and the crevasse kind of just forms this gap in the center of this cavern, separating like two halves of it. And it looks like you have to cross through the bridges in order to get to the other side. But your light also shows and shines towards the south side, where you see a tunnel, as well as a corridor over here. And this corridor over here as well, which turns right.
Yeah, she's trying to figure out if there's a door, and to her, she thinks that if there is a door out, it's going to be this way. So we're going to get vision over here.
Okay, you start walking over there. You continue, and as you do so, you round the corner, and you see that the tunnel continues, and you see it ends on the far side, about 20 feet in front of you, a wall, a stone wall.
And then it looks like it turns and keeps on going, and then there's a door.
It is a wall.
But just based on sort of, having a brain, she thinks that we've probably already been in this room behind this door, so she's going to just open this door.
Okay. You push on the door, or the wall, and the wall recedes.
We've gone in a circle, so I suspect we should be getting close to where we came in.
And you assume that there are probably multiple walls of this, where there are these false walls that act as almost secret passages.
Oh, I thought it was a door. I guess I just pushed on the wall. Okay, that works.
It's a wall. I described it as a stone wall.
Huh.
Oh, well.
Well, how about that?
That explains how they didn't have to deal with the traps.
Yes,
All
that
right.
would make sense. Well, now we can lead the prisoners out.
Yes, let's go ahead and go back and fetch them. We don't want them to be in the line of fire lest things happen.
Okay. As you return back to the crevasse and you go up the thing, Kieran,
Yes.
something occurs where you hear in your head, "My precious."
Kieran pats Bulk's shoulder to get him to stop for a second.
Bulk stops. What? What is it?
He perks up and his little halfling ears kind of wiggle a little bit as he looks around. Did anybody else hear that?
No.
Day takes my precious.
There it was again.
We don't hear anything, Kieran.
You take my precious.
I definitely heard something. Something's speaking to me.
Oh yeah, what's it saying? Give me more cheese wheels.
You're not far off, maybe. It's saying, my precious, you took my precious.
Well, I mean, you did take an awful lot of cheese wheel.
Hey, there was no proof that cheese wheel belonged to anybody.
Yes, because the proof is sitting in your stomach.
Shh.
Well, I guess we're just gonna keep moving until something occurs.
Attack. Yeah, until we get attacked again.
By Gollum.
Column.
Alright.
Let's just try to get the prisoners out of here before whatever is after his cheese wheels shows up.
He tried to eat my cheese wheels, man.
He didn't try, he succeeded.
Alright. Quickly, let's get them out of here before they get attacked too.
Yes, let's go get this over with.
Okay, so for sake of brevity, you guys don't need to move your tokens. Just what's around. Just describe what you do, and I'll stop you and I'll move you wherever happens. So which way do you want to take them? Do you want to take them? I guess you want to take them the long way around, right?
Yeah, because there's
Yes.
a giant hole the other way.
Okay. So when you guys do so and you start leading Myrna and her children around, who's leading? Define your marching order and how you place the children.
God.
Bull goes ahead and gives Myrna a torch so that way she can see, and gives a torch to the older daughter.
Okay.
So I think the order should be Bolg, Alex, and then the children and Myrna, and then Kieran and Mirabelle leading the back of the pack.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. So just assign move your tokens in that order.
Okay, I need to alter my inventory quickly here. So that's another six. That's down another 2 torches. Okay, so it will be Bolg, Alex, Myrna.
I'm gonna move you here.
I was about to say
here,
these are switched around, but we can't move Myrna. There we go.
Here.
There we go.
All right. Roughly like that, something like that.
Yes.
As you guys get to this point, Kieran, the voice comes back to you almost like a radio in your head, and it's just like this echoey, hissy voice, and it says to you once more, "Give back my precious."
Kieran doesn't really say anything at this point because he thinks but he's just cautiously like looking around, trying to find whatever the source of this is.
It says to you, "I will eat them."
Kieran kind of yells to the front of the party, "You guys?
Yes, Karen.
The voice is making threats now."
Yes, well, let's get these people out of here and then figure out why you're hearing things.
Bolg is going to step forward and help Myrna and the kids cross.
Okay. When you get to what do you mean cross? Are you crossing the crevasse?
Yeah, crossing the crevasse.
Or no, we're not crossing the crevasse.
No.
He's trying to get like through this rock here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Bolg, you stand there and you help them across. Like it's narrow, essentially. And when that occurs, a creature so quick jumps on Mira and pushes her off the side.
Oh shit. What the hell?
And Myrna cries out and is hanging on the ledge. And I think that's a good place to stop for tonight, though.
Ah.
Oh, and here I was getting ready to like fuck some shit up.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both.
I'll move your token right there, and that's essentially where we'll end, with Myrna being pushed off and hanging on the ledge of the crevasse.
Okay.
Alright.
Dick move, bro!
Alright, well, hope you guys in the chat room enjoyed. We will be back same time next week. We will resume hosting ESA as soon as I end this. They're still running until, I think, Saturday night. So if you haven't watched any of that, you should. Like, it's good stuff. And yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Yep, see you guys.